Hello. Oh.
Whoa. Oh, no.
Hello. This is good. Got some good volume on the headset here, Will. It's good stuff. Usually I can't hear anything. Hello. Oh, now you can kind of hear me.
Liquor and whores.
Check one. Yeah.
Liquor and whores.
A little bit. Hold on. Is this me or is this you? Is that louder? Does that go louder? Softer, 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 softer. No, I don't know. It didn't do anything. Hello, 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 hello. Oh, maybe that's him. Maybe I'm too. Hello, hello, hello. Oh, that's me right there. I'm number. Oh, how do I? There we go. Is this you here? Down, 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 down.
La la Luke.
Oh, that one.
I am your father.
Check. Check it, check it, check it, check it. Oh, that. Yeah, I jacked you up there.
Too much jack.
How about that?
Less me off.
We'll go right there.
That's pretty loud.
Is that loud?
Pitter patter. Let's get at it. That's a lot of peas.
Oh no, this is the one here. Ah! Okay, that's gonna be way too high probably. Hello. This is me. Is this me? That's you. Hello. 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 There we go.
Wow.
I want to go into the red.
Don't want to go in the red.
It's not working. There we go. How about that? So I don't think we want to hit the red, do we? No, 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 no. So we'll go here. Yeah, right now. Check one. Check. Shooty. Score. Gotta go up higher. Hey! Okay, good. That's good. Talk, Theo.
Coming down the corner. Hammered by Kachuk.
Go again. Just say hey. Hello.
Hey-ho.
Can you hear yourself there?
No, I can't hear myself at all. Can I hear myself? No. No.
That's how. I think that's where we got to keep it.
You
can hear me.
I can hear you.
You can hear yourself.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Well, then we're good.
Can you hear me? What? No. Well, I didn't know that. Oh, well. Sorry. Nothing bad. We didn't swear. You're live, so let's go. Oh, we're doing this now? What do you got on the screen now? It's just the score. Okay, well, they're live, so they can start talking. You don't need to worry. Put your headset on so you know when they tell you they're going to commercial, they're live. Good evening and welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Game 3 of the Manitoba Midget AAA Finals between the Winnipeg Wild and the Brandon Wheat Kings, all along the Manitoba Sports Network. We would like to thank Get Empowered, our official communications provider for cell phones, iPads, and more. Contact your authorized TELUS dealer today, getempowered.ca. Rory McGoran alongside my broadcast partner, Theo Tutkaluk. Theo, the path to the finals here between Winnipeg and Brandon, it was almost inevitable that we would see these two meet in the championship round.
Clearly the two stronger teams throughout the entire regular season, finishing 1-2 in the standings. They each had two series before this one. It is, you're right, absolutely inevitable that we see the Wild take on the Wheat Kings. To say whether or not we would have seen one team take a commanding 2-0 lead in this series coming into this third game, we don't know if that was inevitable. However, we look forward to seeing a great game. The Wheat Kings fans are out in full force tonight, making the trip here to Winnipeg. They got to bring something more than just the fans, because if they don't, this season is going to be quickly over for Brandon, and we're going to see some sort of trophy, some sort of hardware being handed out later tonight, Rory.
Well, that's what we'll segue into then. Brandon is a team with their back against the wall, facing elimination. They won the season series 3-1 in favor of the Wheat Kings. What can they do to stop the team not only once but 3 consecutive times that no one's been able to stop yet? Not this year and not last year for the defending champ Winnipeg Wild.
Well, the Brandon Wheat Kings have to do one thing first, is they have to eliminate the quick strike offense of the Winnipeg Wild. We've seen several of the games over the course of the year, And whatever recipe has been working for Brandon for 3 of those 4 games did not work in the first 2 of the finals. Having that said, you have to look at the fact that, okay, we know Winnipeg, when they score one, they like to score in bunches. Hasn't been an over-the-top offensive juggernaut for the Wild in the first 2 games, but they have won, and they have done what they've needed to get those 2 victories. Brandon needs to start filling the net. And however they have to do that, where they got to crash it, rebounds, offside shots, whatever the case may be, Brandon has to start throwing everything, including that Brandon kitchen sink, at the Winnipeg Wild netminders.
Trent Miner, 2-time goalie of the month for the Brandon Wheat Kings, gets the call up to the Vancouver Giants of the WHL, and he was there. I don't want to say heartbeat, because they have a lot of heartbeats on the forward and defensive corps, but to lose your number 1 goaltender who was so outstanding throughout the regular season, how can a team not recover but manage without their number 1, and a number 1 as special as Trent Miner?
Well, I mean, Trent Miner does an amazing job throughout the entire season, as you mentioned. Goalie of the month twice already this year. He gets the call up to go to his WHL in Vancouver, gets his first victory in the playoffs earlier this week. I mean, nothing you could say or do is going to replace Trent Miner or put him on a plane here for tonight's game. But what you do have is you have 2 netminders that have been splitting the part very well. They've been doing great work, only allowing, I believe, 2 goals in each game. And the best thing you could say about Brandon is defensively they're doing everything very well. Offensively, they just haven't been able to put the puck in the net. And I'm sure Trent Miner, if he was in that locker room this evening, he'd be saying, guys, we're doing all we can between the pipes. You got to do what you can to fill that other set of pipes. And I think that's the message that the netminding and the defense have to give to their forwards tonight if they have any chance of beating the Winnipeg Wild and continuing on this series.
Quick look at special teams. Brandon absolutely lighting it up with the man advantage and the penalty kill in the regular season. First in both categories, 84 power play goals and 270 attempts. Good for 31% were the weekends throughout the regular season. They still have a good clip throughout the playoffs so far. But the Winnipeg Wild, who are 7th in the regular season, have a 9.8 power play percentage. I know they are only 1 loss in the postseason. That was in the original round against Central Plains, and they're up 2-0 against Brandon. But you don't want to go into any game with a power play sitting at 9.8%.
I'm amazed that the head coach of the Winnipeg Wild has any hair left on the top of his head with those outstanding power play numbers. I mean, the bottom line is this offense put up 100 more goals than almost any other team in AAA midget over the course of the regular season. Furthermore, they did that with a power play just knocking under just over 14% during the regular season and 4 for 41 in this year's playoffs. But it doesn't really matter. What matters is the W's. And led by Bettens and the rest of his line, they have really done what they needed to. They've put the goals in when they need. They've gotten great defense from when they had to. And they're up 2-0 with a stranglehold on this championship series, this best of 5. So, I mean, for the coaches for the Winnipeg Wild, maybe they're just not worried about it. Maybe it's on the back porch. They're not thinking about it too much. And they're always worried about the fact that at the end of 60 minutes, who's on top? And if it's us, we're good to go. We're raising the trophy tonight.
Pre-game show here is brought to you by Super 8 Winnipeg West. Rory McGorn, Theo Tutcluck with you on the Manitoba Sports Network. Quick, Theo, before we head to break and get this game set up between the Wild and the Brandon Wheat Kings. Game 3 here of the Manitoba Midget AAA Finals. Couple players to watch on either side for you.
You can't say nothing about anything great about Mr. Bettens for the Winnipeg Wild. He's already committed to a Division I school. He's led his team. He led the regular season in points. He leads his team this year with the helpers as well as overall points in the playoffs. He's your go-to guy. I mean, the bottom line is you're going to see the offense run through him. Another player for the Winnipeg Wild I really like is, I miss him, Zach Falk right there. I mean, he's been that second in command with almost 25 goals, 42 goals, 76 points in the regular season. It's a 1-2 double-edged sword for those guys. For Brandon, I mean, we haven't watched much of Brandon, but there's a 5'6" fella out there. He's only 15 years old.
Nolan Ritchie, 84 points in 45 games played in the regular season. Quickly on Nolan Ritchie, third in the league in goals, third in the league in assists, second in the league in points, first in power play goals, second in shorthanded goals, and second in game-winning goals. It's not just this year that he scores a lot. Last year led his Bantam AAA team, led the league in goals and in points, 56th overall draft pick by the Brandon Wheat Kings of the WHL this year. He's got 9 points in 8 games in the playoffs. We saw him skating around, taking pregame skate, and it's unbelievable to see a guy at his size look at his stat sheet as a 15-year-old rookie and look at what he's doing.
It's amazing what he does. And I'm going to make it a reference here to a gentleman that, that we see a lot of in the big leagues, and that's number 81, Kyle Connor, where at every single level he's played, he's put the puck in the net. And Nolan Ritchie's done exactly the same thing, and he's done a great job this year and a great job last year.
Yeah, we will be right back. Teams have hit the ice. Referees are just ahead of them, and just ahead for you is Puck Drop here on the Manitoba Sports Network. Rambling on of Mike. Welcome back here inside Bell MTS Iceplex. Rory McGorran, Theo Tutgluck with you on the Manitoba Sports Network. Game 3 between the Winnipeg Wild and the Brandon Wheat Kings here. Wild hold a 2-0 lead, have only lost once in these playoffs. That was the original round to Central Plains Capitals. And Theo, Brandon never lost up until this round, and now they've lost 2 in a row. Have to win 3 straight in order to capture the championship here in the Manitoba Midget AAA Hockey League.
To have a terrible phrase, your back is against the wall. That's exactly how Brandon feels right now. They've played some great hockey against the Winnipeg Wild. First sign of defeat in this championship final best of 5. But here it comes. We're about to drop the puck here for this game 3, and Brandon's got to pull out all the stops.
Tonight's game between the Brandon Wheat Kings and the Winnipeg Wild is brought to you by Case Financial Group. Our low-rate mortgages make owning your home an affordable choice. Plus, our flexible mortgage payments fit any budget. Apply for a Case mortgage at case.biz. That's CAISSE.biz. Theo, moments away from puck drop here, game 3.
Pandemonium.
Well,
I'm looking forward to a great high-intensity first 5 minutes for Brandon. If they have any chance to put these guys on the heels, they come out here, they put the sniff it blood like sharks, and they don't take it off the pedal for a full 60 minutes. Here we go.
Puck is dropped, and we are on our way. Face-off is knocked into the Brandon zone momentarily, and then slapped back in, and a nice big hit there from Tanner Morrison as he knocks down Kyle Bettens early in this game. Brandon looking for the outlet pass, intercepted by Bettens, walks into the high slot, gets stick-flipped off the puck, but manages to drop that down into the near side corner boards here in the Wheat King zone. Couple of few big hits. There's another one along the half wall. Good physical start to this game as Mitchell Joss picks up the puck. Rink wide pass finds Burgeon. Burgeon head up, goes into the inside. Now whistles a shot. That's kicked away by Green. Dawson Green getting the start here for Brandon. It's going to be Miles Minor, of course, making his 9th start of these playoffs for the Winnipeg Wild. 40 seconds played. Icing's going to be the call as the outstretched pass was just a little bit ahead of the stick. Puck comes back into Brandon's zone. Good physical start to this game.
Big hit so far on the boards. Brandon's got to use that extra 4 feet of room to get that puck out of the blue line the first time and start moving that puck into their offensive zone.
Face-off is won by the Wild, chipped down low by Fisher. Back out in front, looking for Fisher, and he gets tied up in front nicely there by Collier. Puck comes to the point, back for Falk. He throws a shot, and that's right in the breadbasket of Mr. Dawson Green for the Wheat Kings. Falk leading the league in the regular season, tied for first with 42 goals. He's yet to find the back of the net here in the playoffs, but does have 6 assists.
6 assists. And we also saw Fisher, the AP player, playing there with Belton. So he's playing in that second line, filling the void there. Good job below the Reds, getting that good couple of shots on Brandon's netminder.
Face off to the blocker side of Dawson Green. That's won there by Brandon. Chipped off the glass, gets it to the blue line, and now out. But Joe Krause right on the puck. And no hesitation throwing that back into Brandon's zone. Wild trying to get set up, but it's quickly passed ahead by McCallum. And onto the stick of Halliday. Back to McCallum. He shoots. Great blocker save there from Miles Minor. That carabs off his blocker. And onto the far side half wall where a few players are tying each other up. Tristan Thompson looking for it. The rink-wide pass. That gets past the stick of Thompson for Brandon and gets knocked out of the attacking zone. Back the other way come the Wild with Tristan Thompson. Thompson's going to take it one-handed around. Thompson throws it back to the point. Stopped there by Borger. Borger's now just going to throw this into the open corner. Back to get that is Rylan Thiessen. He's trying to shake off the check of Reese Belton. Goes D to D. And up the wing now for McCallum. McCallum looking for the centering pass. Trying to hit the stick of Sawchuk. It's a little bit ahead of him. Meyer out of his net. Plays it along the boards. But kept in nicely there by Keegan Morrison. Nice hit behind the net of Miles Minor. It's chipped out by the Wild on the far side. Can't quite handle that was Benedictson. It goes off his shin pads and now back to the way down 2-1. Benedictson has Lachavo. He takes the shot over the net. Hits the glass and backs into the near side half wall here where Brandon works the breakout. Nolan Ritchie, the 15-year-old rookie with 84 points, throws it to a weak side. Shot there from Anderson. That's wide of the net and back the other way comes Gottfried. 6'5" defenseman. Throws it to Benedictson. He's going to dump it in and go for a line change. All 5 Wild make the change. Puck is covered by Green. We're going to get a whistle here, glove side. 2 minutes and a half played in this first period, 0-0.
So far we've seen a little bit of end-to-end action. Each team's trying to find their identity here in the third period. Bit of an early whistle there for the Wheat Kings netminder. I thought he would have got rid of the puck so they could get it out of there, but face-off deep in their end.
Face-offs won by the Wheat Kings. Onto the stick of Thompson. And now Colin Cook with some room takes it down the center ice into the attacking zone. Gets sticked off the puck, but trailing. Now a third opportunity for Collier. That goes off a skate and over the net. Back on the near side for Fox from the Wild. Tries to get this out, but Orr keeps that in nicely for the Wheat Kings. In the corner for Colin Cook. He's battling against Mason Waite. In comes Kyle Bettens to help. And now Collier for Brandon. 2 players from each team vying for position in the near side corner boards here. In to help out as Mitchell Joss. Puck squirts out to Drayson Collier. He gets tripped up. No call there, but the Wild do get the puck to the blue line. And once again, in Jackson Orr, he's going to hammer that puck deep into Winnipeg Wild zone where the captain, Mason Waite, plays it on to the far side boards. Intended for Kyle Bettens. And back for Waite. He's going to carry this out to center, get to the blue line, and walk it in. Does the captain. Drop past to Fox. Nice move inside the slot and takes a shot. Great save there by Green. And then a whack on the stick of the captain, who maybe was crowding him a bit. No rebound, though, for Green, and there hasn't been one yet. 3.5 minutes into this game. He's looked comfortable in between the pipes.
That was a great confidence save by Green there on top of the hash marks. On top of the crease. Well positioned, well centered for the shot by Fox. No rebound. Very good confidence there.
Reese Belton out there to take the face-off for Winnipeg. 2 Brandon Wheat Kings collide with each other. That allows the pass to come into the slot for Falk. He throws a backhand towards the net. Goes off to the side of the net, maybe the blocker of Dawson Green. And now Brandon led by Halliday. Halliday intended for Keegan Morrison, a little bit ahead of him. This is going to be icing against the Wheat Kings. 4-2, the shots on goal favor the Wild. Couple good scoring opportunities, but nothing that's phased goaltender Dawson Green just of yet.
Just had to take a couple extra steps to get across that red line to avoid the icing, but seems like it hasn't been a problem thus far with these face-offs deep at the Brandon zone.
Face-off, glove side of Green, won by Brandon and carried out by Halliday. He's looking for McCallum. Second effort does get it to McCallum. Has a little bit of room, takes the shot, he scores! Lyndon McCallum, 4 minutes into this game, gets Brandon the 1-0 lead, and when they're down by 2 games, the early momentum that they so desperately needed.
That first 4 minutes of this game so far has been held. All the intensity by Brandon moving into the offensive zone. Great shot to the top corner over the blocker, a miles minor by McCallum. That's the start that we wanted to see by the Wheat Kings. Great job by the Brandon crew. Let's see if they can maintain this momentum.
Lyndon McCallum, who averaged 2 points per game, second in the league throughout the season, only behind Riley Funk of the Central Plains Capitals, will pick up his 14th point, which ties Kyle Bettens for now the league lead in the playoffs. That is McCallum's 6th goal here of the playoffs and 14th point. That's 16:01. Goal from McCallum makes it 1-0 for Brandon. Brandon now back on the attack. It's back behind the net for Ritchie. Throws it out in front looking for Anderson. Couldn't squeeze off the shot, but it's kept in nicely there by Damon Hunt. Hunt throws it back behind the net of Miles Minor. Outlet pass intended for Bryant. He chips that just ahead, and Ritchie's back out to help the D. Throws it D to D over to Hunt. Hunt throws it back in. They're going to call this icing as he was a step behind the red line. 15-13 remaining here in the first period between the Wild and the Wheat Kings on the Manitoba Sports Network. And we talked about it in the pregame show. Brandon needed that early momentum. They got it off the stick of Lyndon McCallum. Face-off is won by the Wild. Shot by Burgeon. Bouncing puck in front. Benedictson makes a whack at it. That goes wide of the net onto the stick of Paddock, and he chips this high off the glass and into the Winnipeg Wild zone where Mason Waite's waiting back for it. Long lead pass up for Lechavo. Nice move stepping around Thompson. But loose on the puck were the Wheat Kings. Back on the stick of Thompson and to the blue line. But the Wild hold that line nicely, not once but twice. Reese Belton the second effort, and now Brandon Dew managed to get it out. As Morrison was tripped up, Tanner Morrison. Long lead pass attempt for Lechavo. He takes a bit of a hip check there. I believe it was Thompson who threw that one. No call as it's sent back in by Mason Waite. Off the backboards now, settles behind the net where Thompson is going to throw it up along the near side boards here for Cook, who lets it slide back behind him. Bit of neutralized play here. A lot of big hits, but the flow has slowed down a bit after the opening 3 minutes. As Morrison gets tied up with one of the Wild players in Mitchell Joss. Puck comes out in front for Bettens. He takes a shot now. Joss has a second effort at it. Gets tripped up in front of the net. No call again. As the Wild, as Fox it was, who was in front of the net, had a glorious opportunity, but gets tripped up. Puck comes to the point, held in nicely there by Joe Krause. Bouncing puck is on the stick of Eric Fox. He shakes off a check and gets it down low. Back onto Bettens. Bettens and Joss play a little give and go. Bettens dodges a check and walks it right out. Nice move by the league leading goal scorer in the regular season, and now a tie of the lead in the playoffs with Lyndon McCallum after that first goal.
Winnipeg Wild, they're able to hem in the Brandon Wheat Kings, not able to get that puck out of the zone there for about 35 seconds, causing some confusion amongst the defensemen. Some great looks by the Wild, just could not get the shot on net. Great job by Brandon using their body and moving away the players from the white from the front of the net.
Reese Belton takes the face-off. It's won there by Brandon. Chipped ahead for Dylan Halliday. He throws it off the boards, trying to work around Borger. Nothing happening there as Borger closes him out. Winnipeg picks up the puck and slams it back into Brandon's zone. Now McCallum, a nice touch pass up for Sawchuk. He's got Halliday with him. The drop pass for Halliday goes through his legs. And then they back on the retreat as up comes Fisher for the Wild. With some speed into the attacking zone, drops it for Belton. Belton trying to shake off the check there of Sawchuk, throws it for Gottfried, tipped in front, and a nice stick save. Alert was the goaltender in green to clear that from danger. Back the other way comes Halliday, trying to go inside on Borger. Borger again, nice defensive play for the second time to strip Halliday of the puck. Fisher trying to work around Twirterclib. Puck gets out. They got to check up, get onside, and Belton hammers this back in. Now with a lot of speed comes Hunt. Damon Hunt now down the right side, takes it on his backhand, takes it around the net, chips it in front. It's on the back of the net. As Mason Wade is battling with a few Wheat Kings behind the net of Miles Minor, and out comes Kluchuk with it. Sidesteps a check. Burgeon trying to poke to get it out of the zone. Good job to hold the line, but now the puck does get out by the Wild, and hard on it is Tristan Thompson for Winnipeg. Forcing the pressure on Damon Hunt. Throws a nice hit on Hunt on the backboards, but Brandon comes out with the puck, and Colin Cook now across center into the attacking zone. Drake Burgeon rides him out into the corners nicely. Good defensive effort from both sides here. 1-0 in favor of Brandon, 9 minutes into this game. Now Jackson Kluchuk just throws this into an open wing on the far side. Brandon picks that up, throws it D-to-D. Up ahead, looking for Nolan Ritchie. Onto the stick of Minor. Tries to clear it out, hits a body. I'm not sure if Minor knew where it was, but the Wild do corral the puck and get it out. Cross center was Bryant. He drops that into the Brandon zone. And Brandon regroup and try to work the breakout as it's shipped ahead now for Paddock. Paddock squeezed out along the boards, but on the trail was Ritchie. Skates past the puck, and back comes Benedictson, just a little bit too far ahead of him as they're playing a little back and forth here across the neutral zone are both teams. Puck now, Brandon lifted up high into the attacking zone. Nice hit in the back wall there. And back come the Wild. Here comes Zach Falk, 42 goals in the regular season. Throws a shot, that's off a stick into the netting and out of play. 11:04 remaining in the first here. 1-0 Brandon over Winnipeg on the Manitoba Sports Network.
Fast 9 minutes so far, Roy. And I got to say, it's been fairly even here. Shots don't indicate much action, but offensively, both goalies have been tested so far and testing their confidence, and more importantly, trying to keep each team into this game. One goal only in.
Face-off, glove side of goaltender Green. Won by Brandon and carried out. Onto the stick of Lyndon McCallum. On the trail was Sawchuk. Just a little bit behind him. Back the other way comes Fox. He's got Joss and Bentons with him. To Joss. Over to Bentons. And he was on his backhand. Couldn't find the loose puck on the back door. Falls onto the near side half wall where it's picked up by Sawchuk. Looking for McCallum ahead of him. This is going to be icing against the Wheat Kings. Good three-way passing play there from that lead line. As it goes from Fox to Joss. Joss looking for the streaking Bentons. A little bit ahead of him. If he had been left-handed, maybe he would have tapped that one in.
You know what? It was almost the tic-tac-toe the Wild needed to tie this game up at 1. But we're seeing them have that opportunity offensively. It's got to collect and connect.
Face-off, won by Bentons to the point for Gottfried. Gottfried just throws this down back deeper into the Brandon zone. Bentons in the corner, working on a few checkers, centering pass, looking for Joss. Joss spins and shoots, that hits the body. Bouncing puck, falls on the stick of Fox, and he can't squeeze the trigger. Back on a 3-on-2 come the Wheat Kings. On the puck now is McCallum. He throws it to Sawchuk. Sawchuk looking over to Halliday and turned over on the stick of Eric Fox over to Bentons. Bentons trying to work through two defensemen, takes a shot. That bouncing rebound into the slot. Off the crossbar comes a shot from Ryan Gottfried. Lucky break there for the Wheat Kings to keep this a 1-0 goal game in favor of them. Puck now slammed in by Rylan Thiessen. Out of his nets, Minor to stop that. Winnipeg Wild trying to break it out of their zone. A couple of sloppy passes, but now on the puck is Zach Falk. Crisp one through the neutral ice onto the stick of Fisher. Goes outside wide along Rylan Thiessen. Takes a shot. Glove saved by Green. 9:41 to play here in the first. 1-0 Brandon.
Fisher had that cross-body shot. Almost caught Green leaning the wrong way, but that big catcher's bit of Green makes it still a 1-0 game for these Brandon Wheat Kings. Yet another face-off in Brandon's deep end.
Period one's brought to you by Pembina Valley Physiotherapy and Sports Injury along the Manitoba Sports Network. Puck trying to be feathered out in front by Fisher, looking for Falk. That's off his stick, and back come the Wheat Kings. Long lead pass ahead for Michael Chuck. That's out of his reach. And on the stick of the captain, Mason Waite. He spins this back looking for Burgeon. Not sure if he was ready for that pass, but does get the loose puck. And back over to Mason Waite. Waite, head up, outlet pass, finds the stick of Zach Falk, but a step offside was Fisher for the Wild. Puck comes back out. We're going to get a face-off here in the neutral zone. Shot 7-3 in favor of Winnipeg. But the scoreboard reads 1-0 in favor of Brandon.
No, Winnipeg Wild have definitely picked up the momentum here in the last half of the first period here. Definitely putting it into Brandon's zone, deep below the red line there. Just got to come away with a goal.
Packed house here in the Bell MTS Iceplex for Game 3 of the Manitoba Midget AAA Finals. And wherever you are, whenever you do, we thank you for watching on the Manitoba Sports Network. There's a lead pass for Nolan Ritchie. He whistles a shot. That doesn't miss by much. It caroms off the glass and back onto the near side blue line here where it's picked up by Joe Kraus. The intended pass is off the skate of Paddock, and Paddock now working hard. Stick lifts a few of the Wild, gets the puck and throws it down cross rink, into the far corner. Intercepted there from Anderson. Anderson to Paddock. Long shot from Paddock. Saw the whole way from goaltender Miles Minor, blockered into the corner. Now Jackson Kluchuk, he skates this out, has some room, tries a little toe drag move, looking to get around the defenseman and Hunt. Hunt rides him into the corner boards and now pinches him against the boards. In to help out are a few more Wheat Kings, and back out comes Sawchuk. Sawchuk, one-touch pass up to Halliday, couldn't handle the reception, and on the stick of the defense with a Wild, cleared back onto the blue line of the Wheat Kings. Now Ryland Thiessen with some speed from the point, skates it in, throws it into the front of the net. That stop there by Minor covers up for a whistle. We've played 12 minutes here in the first period. Good pace so far in Game 3, 1-0 Brandon.
Good pace is right, Roy, and like we said, we're seeing some quick changes by both teams, keeping the fresh legs. Almost each team is, you don't want to say that they're, not losing the intensity, but I think each team is trying to figure each other out, and they've finally done so.
Face-off is won by the Wild, pushes the puck out of their zone, but quickly back in from Ryland Thiessen. Now Lechavo trying to touch pass on the breakout ahead of the stick of Belton, flipped into the glove of goaltender Miles Minor, and he throws that onto the stick of Ryan Gottfried. A long pass up in the air from Gottfried, fails to hit any of the Winnipeg Wild, lands on the stick of the Wheat Kings, but on the forecheck is Reese Belton, not once but twice again, holding the puck into the Brandon Wheat Kings zone. Now Lechavo gets pinched up against the boards. Loose puck is picked up by Sawchuk onto the stick of McCallum. McCallum flips out into neutral ice where Dylan Halliday was waiting for it. Halliday now walks in, chips it back over to Sawchuk, and Sawchuk throws a backhand through the blue ice, but no one was home for the Brandon Wheat Kings. They're going to go off for a line change here for some fuel and tires, which is going to allow the Winnipeg Wild to skate this out, led by Gottfried. He goes long lead pass for Bettens. He takes a nice hit along the boards by Thompson of the Wheat Kings. Back the other way comes Kaspic for Cook. Cook takes a shot. That didn't miss by much. May have had the bottom corner open, but missed the net. Low glove side of Miles Minor. Good, quick paced effort on the turnover by Brandon to force the good opportunity for Cook.
Great hit at Bettens. They're right at the blue line to force the turnover. And then watching Brandon spread the ice right along that ringette line. Great toe save by Miles Minor.
Face off in the neutral ice, won by the Wild onto the stick of Drake Burgeon. He finds Mitchell Joss. Joss gets to the blue line. Now all the mates were onside, but it's on the stick of the defenseman for the Wheat Kings and down the ice with some speed is Colin Cook. Can't quite outrace Mason Waite, and Waite gets the puck first, and he's going to throw this onto the stick of Joss, who just tips this into the attacking zone. Kyle Bettens with Fox on the forecheck. Puck comes to Fox in the corner. Pinched along the boards is Thompson with the puck. He's pressed up against by Eric Fox. In to help out there is Mitchell Joss. Joss comes out with the loose puck. Kyle Bettens now gets stick lift here, which allows Collier to come out with it. Collier chips it off the boards, and on the forecheck goes number 29 for the Brandon Wheat Kings. Quick breakout for the Winnipeg Wild on the stick of Eric Fox. He's trying to take it wide, goes through the legs of Thompson, but can't get the puck back, and on the net of Green, shovels that away from danger, does the goaltender. Now Nolan Ritchie into the attacking zone. Throws it on net, steered aside by Minor. Puck into the corner. Nice hit there by Ritchie, as that allows the turnover for Paddock. Paddock gets knocked down but maintains control. Throws it back behind the net of Minor. Calder Anderson now. Good cycle here for Brandon. Nolan Ritchie. He's going to walk out in front. A good second effort there for Brandon. Miles Minor cleared that and made a save. Now Fisher walks across the blue line. Goes outside. Around Keegan Morrison. Puck comes out to the front for Belton. Nice defensive play there for Nolan Ritchie to lift Belton's stick. He was in the slot with the puck. Dangerous opportunity, but Nolan Ritchie was in perfect defensive play. Back the other way Comes toward a clip to the red line. Dumps it in. Full sail line change here for the Wheat Kings. Back to get it's Joe Kraus for the Wild. Kraus now winding up in his own zone. Goes D to D up for Shatsky. Shatsky now drops it for Kluchuk. Kluchuk trying to work around Thiessen. Drops it down low. Tristan Thompson now with it. Back up to the point for Gottfried. He hit the crossbar earlier. Gottfried takes a funny bounce off the glass and lands in the slot. But again, Thiessen was in great defensive position to clear it out of any danger. Here comes McCallum on for Thiessen. And Gottfried gets that long stick in the way. The 6'5" frame of Ryan Gottfried used very nicely there to break up the 2-on-1.
Great job breaking up that actually 2-on-1 into a 3-on-2. But if you watch Brandon as they leave their end, it doesn't look like it's going to be a great opportunity for them scoring-wise. And then they hit the gas, and then it becomes a 3-on-2 very quickly. They got the right spacing, the right passing lanes. Always a good scoring opportunity when they come into the Wild offensive zone.
Face-off to the glove side of Miles Minor. Won there by Brandon. Dylan Halliday's trying to shake off the check of Lashavo. Holds the line, keeps it in, throws it down low for McCallum. McCallum now working off of 2 Winnipeg Wild. Stick lift back up for Halliday. He takes a shot. Glove save. Miles Minor flashes the leather and keeps Winnipeg only down by 1 with 4:21 to go. Best save of the game for Miles Minor.
Quick glove. I mean, it's a pretty, routine wrist shot. I'm not going to play it up. I'm not going to play it down. He wanted to show off some Patrick Waugh-esque kind of stuff there, I know. But Miles Minor right now is definitely the one that's come up to play so far for the Wild. As for the rest of the players, they got to feed off his energy.
You got to be good to be lucky. I think Miles Minor might be good. Out comes Mitchell Joss with the puck on the far side board, skating into the attacking zone, throws it back behind the net of Green. 2 bodies for the Wild, and on the forecheck is Bettens and Fox. Puck squirts out to the slot. Joss couldn't handle that one. Cleared back into the near side corner. Back up on the half wall here for Paddock, and out come the Wheat Kings on the breakout. Nolan Ritchie, he's going to take a bump but get the puck over to Calder Anderson. Looking across for Hunt, but can't quite get that. Pardon me, that's Jackson Orr, number 5 for Brandon. Couldn't quite find him. He was sitting back door uncovered. And good defensive play from the Wild. Kyle Bettens now chips it out onto the stick of Eric Fox. He's going to take it wide, trying to chip it around defenseman in Orr. Nothing happening there as Orr, defensively sound, rides him out, and back come the Wheat Kings. Nolan Ritchie, head up, 84 points throughout the regular season for number 11 for the Wheat King. He's going to skate in, stop up, and drop it deep. Intended there for Morrison of the Brandon Wheat Kings. 4 bodies. Nolan Ritchie's in there to help out. Back to the point. Shot tipped in front and on the stick of Joe Kraus. Had time to get it out, but Brandon closed on him quickly. Still hemming the puck deep on the blue line, and finally the Wild do get this out. Back to get the puck is Jordan for the Wheat Kings. Pass up the center, stopped by Falk, but Jordan, second effort on the puck, does get it out and to the blue line here for the Wild. Offside's going to be the call. Linesman skate in between 2 players. Nothing happening there. 2:51 to go here in the first period. 1-0 Brandon.
Yeah, Cook giving a couple extra shots to Joe Kraus there after the whistle. Mr. Kraus there having a hard time this period trying to find the loose puck, and he's still giving an A+ effort there. Great job by the defenseman playing the left side.
Face off near side here of the neutral zone. Quick chat by the linesman. Sawchuk in to take the face-off against Kluchuk. It's won by Brandon, and Sawchuk played up to the blue line, but the Wild intercept that play and work it the other way. Led by Kluchuk onto the stick of goaltender Green. He just throws this off the boards on the far side, and intercepted by Bryant. Throws a low shot, sticked away by Green. Back the other way comes Brandon on the quick breakout attempt. In comes Halliday, shoots, but the whistle had blown. Wild are going to take a little bit of an exception to that.
This I don't understand, Rory. I mean, yeah, it's a shot after the whistle, and I'm pretty sure Miles Minor heard the whistle, so he wasn't too worried about the puck after it. But this kerfuffle afterwards, either it's going to do one of 2 things for the Winnipeg Wild. It's going to reset their emotion and say, listen, we got to get ourselves into this game because right now we're losing. Or it's going to be the start of an ugly beginning, and they're going to start seeing the penalty train, which is what might be happening here. They have to hope these rails keep the wheels on them, or the wheels are staying on the rails, I should say.
Well, they're going to give coincidental minors here for Halliday and Joe Kraus. I'm going to guess both for roughing. I don't think the late shot's going to earn him a penalty. It was right after the whistle. Tough to tell if it was intentional. I mean, But
it is loud in here.
Afterwards, retaliates. That's going to get him the 2 every time.
Of course, and this is as a coaching staff, you have to rein the players in and say, listen, fellas, I like the intensity after the whistle. We got to do that before the whistle. We got to do that to get the puck in the net. Right now, it looks like, we're 8-6 up in shots, but we're just playing too lackadaisy right now, and Brandon is taking it to us. I mean, of those 6 shots the Wheat Kings have had, 5 of those 6 have been great scoring opportunities.
Faceoff's going to come inside the Winnipeg Wild zone. A second member of the Winnipeg Wild has entered the box in Lechavo. Find out what the official call is, but right now Brandon's going to go on the power play, and the Wild are going to go on the penalty kill, brought to you by Murray, Chrysler, and Morden. Brandon sets up the power play with Hunt, throws it into the slot. Bouncing puck, second effort, stopped there by Miner. Mason Kapsick was sitting in the slot, had 2 whacks at it, but Miner on the puck. 2 minutes for cross-checking and 2 minutes for roughing after the whistle are the 2 calls for the Winnipeg Wild. Brandon also picked up a roughing after the whistle call for Dylan Halliday. Puck is sent into the Brandon Wheat Kings zone by the Winnipeg Wild. Back to get this on the power play is Damon Hunt. Hunt's going to wind this out of his zone. A lot of speed through the attacking zone. Hunt then throws it onto a loose corner. No one's there. And the Wild are going to slap this one out quickly. 1:50 left. 1 minute and 22 left in the power play here. First power play opportunity for either team. Brandon's going to get the start here in Game 3. They're up 1-0 with 1 minute and 40 left in the first period. Nolan Ritchie now gets the puck and throws this along the boards behind that of Miles Miner. 2 bodies for Brandon in there on the power play. In comes the third to get the puck. Kaspick trying to drop it back for Ritchie. Ritchie now gets it to McCallum. And an intended pass on the defenseman for Paddock hits the skate of the referee and cleared out of the zone by the Wild. Now the power play that was first place throughout the regular season have yet to be able to set up here. Loose puck falls onto the stick of Joss Danger. Short up an opportunity there, but back the other way with numbers comes Sawchuk. Takes it deep, stops up. Shakes off a few checks, drops it down for Collier. Last minute of the play here in the first period. Collier goes back up to the point for Anderson. Anderson, rink wide, looking for Thiessen. Gets through his legs, but he does get the loose puck and drops it down into the far side corner boards for Collier. Collier now trying to shake off a few checks to the Wild. Dangerously shakes off the one from Mitchell Joss, but the Wild do get this to the blue line. Stopped at the blue line nicely there from Collier. Glove pass is going to be the call, or are we going to get a penalty here?
I think we're getting a closed hand on the puck. And it's going to be coming outside the blue line here. Or it could be it was a glove pass. It was a glove pass.
That favored the Wheat Kings, so face-off is going to come outside of the Wild zone. 40 seconds left in this first period, 13 seconds left in the power play, brought to you by GT Hockey. Here in Game 3, and of course along the Manitoba Sports Network, Wheat Kings rink-wide pass onto the stick of Riley Thiessen. He's going to take it around Kyle Bettens. Thiessen now throws it onto Ritchie. He's got a little bit of room. He's behind the net. Looking for his mates. Drops it down for Anderson. Anderson now cycles it back for McCallum. McCallum shakes off the check of Borger. Goes down. Walks it passes it into the slot. And a little bit ahead of the play was Hunt for the Wheat Kings. Onto the stick of Bryant and cleared back into the Brandon zone. 2 bodies for the Wild into the corner. 3 seconds left. That's going to do it here for 20 minutes in Game 3 of the Manitoba Midget AAA Championship Finals between the Winnipeg Wild and the Brandon Wheat Kings. 1-0 favors Brandon. So, talked about it in the pregame show. Brandon had to get the early momentum, and it came off the stick of Lyndon McCallum, a guy who had 2.0 points per game throughout the regular season, and now after that goal is tied with Kyle Bettens for the league lead in the playoffs in points.
Lyndon McCallum doing exactly what the Brandon Wheat Kings needed, a finish. And he found a little bit of room up above the blocker side of Miles Miner there to make it a 1-0 game here. And he did it in the first 5 minutes. They came out really strong in the first 5 minutes, did the Brandon Wheat Kings. And more importantly, they maintained that intensity. A bit of glips here and there of losing it. But the bottom line is they also finished that period with a power play. Showed great intensity, putting 2 shots on net. and more importantly, keeping the Winnipeg Wild off the scoreboard. That was impressive for the first 20 minutes here in Game 3.
Goaltending, we talked about it. Trent Miner wasn't here for all the playoffs. Was called up to the Vancouver Giants, the WHL. In comes Dawson Green, and Keegan Watkins McIntyre has pretty much done a split right down the middle. Dawson Green gets the start tonight here in Game 3 and looked incredibly comfortable in between the pipes. No, very little rebounds.
Very little rebounds, great confidence, great positioning between the pipes. Didn't have to do anything more than what was asked of him. Had to touch the puck a couple of times behind the net. But more importantly, like we've always said, to beat this Winnipeg Wild team, you have to keep them off the score sheet. And Green has done that and then some here in the first. And a great job by him maintaining his composure and building that confidence against a team that's going to have a quick strike offense. I have a feeling that it's just going to be like a jack in the box. You just turn that wheel a little bit and then all of a sudden, boom, it's going to happen. But hopefully for the Brandon Wheat Kings, it doesn't happen tonight.
1-0 in favor of Brandon. That goal was brought to you by Get Empowered, our official communications provider for cell phones, iPads, and more. Contact your authorized TELUS dealer today, getempowered.ca. Rory McGoran, Theo Tuckluck with you on the Manitoba Sports Network here after 20 minutes. So 1-0 in favor of Brandon. Talked about their goaltending being good, their ability to keep the puck away from Winnipeg in that first. Shots were 8-8, but still enough possession time for the Brandon Wheat Kings in the attacking zone. What do Winnipeg Wild have to do? Because if you aren't able to control this game and win at home, you're going back to Brandon with only a 1-game lead. And Brandon's going to try to force a Game 5. They have to try to force a Game 5. They lose one more, they're done.
Absolutely. And I think what you saw what Joe Krause was doing at the end of the game, or into that first period, after that shot went in the net, the emotion for the Wild needs to be transversed and transferred into positive offensive tries and chances. Sure, they're getting shots on net, but there's no confusion in front of the net. Not a great look of shots put on Green thus far in the first period. A couple of loose ones, a couple of lazy ones. And that's exactly what it looks like in the offensive zone for the Wild. They're just not organized. They're just not stealth hungry as we've seen them in previous games. So hopefully the coaches there will understand and find a way for these gentlemen to explain themselves how poorly they played in the offensive zone and how that needs to change.
Well, 20 minutes done, 40 minutes to go here on the Manitoba Sports Network. 1-0 in favor of the Wheat Kings in Game 3. 2-0 favors the Wild in the playoff series, pardon me. 1-0 for Brandon, 40 minutes to go. Rory McGoran and Theo Tuckluck will be right back with second period play-by-play call here in the Manitoba AAA Midget League and, of course, along the Manitoba Sports Network.
At Super 8 Winnipeg West, we have your comfort in mind with free Wi-Fi and free daily Superstart breakfast. We also have guest laundry facilities, a state-of-the-art fitness center, and a jetted hot tub. Sleep well in a spacious guest room equipped with plush new bedding, a 50-inch flat-screen HD TV, microwave, mini refrigerator, and Keurig coffee maker. Or book a suite with a kitchen, ideal for extended stays. Super 8 Winnipeg West, located just inside the perimeter on Portage Avenue.
Welcome to MB Seeds. I'm Matt and this is B, and we're a family-run business. We've been operating since 2012 and we sell canola, soybeans, corn, wheat, barley, oats, and peas. We also run a cleaning facility on site just south of Low Farm where we can clean almost anything that you can grow. Come check us out today.
Hi, I'm Cassandra Curia with Farm Fitness. We're located in Île-des-Chênes, Manitoba. We do everything from personal training, group training classes, yoga and flexible steel. We also focus on young athletes. We do not only just the strength and conditioning, but the agility, power, rotational control and strength, and flexibility, stability, and mobility is always super important. You can find us at fermfitness.ca and come check us out.
I think it's a pretty good program, getting to be on the ice every day and meeting new people from all over the world and playing with new teammates that I've never played with before.
The competition you play against is unbelievable, and there are hardly words to describe how amazing my past 3 years here have been.
I love being on the ice every day, and it's a great opportunity for girls that want to play a higher level of hockey.
The academy's great here. There's really nice people here. The town is great. It's a nice little quiet town.
I like the fact that we're on the ice every day and that we get to experience new opportunities here and get to play with different girls.
Well, I think our school has been awesome. The one-on-one situations that we have with our teachers has been great.
It's a good change, and I think that living in Canada and going to school is a great opportunity for me to learn new things.
Are you looking for a career in the salon industry? Check out Aveda Institute Winnipeg in the Exchange. What sets us apart is our student mentorship program, 95% placement rate after graduation, real-world salon experience, and network of 7,000 salons and spas. You will learn creative cut and coloring, latest trends and techniques, social media marketing, fashion shows, photo shoots, and more. Now accepting applications for 2018, so check us out and book your tour today. Aveda Institute Winnipeg. Hair school the way it should be.
Hi, I'm Rick Funk from Funk's Toyota. Our family has been in the automotive business for over 45 years. That's 45 plus years of looking after customers. We have a top worldwide recognized product that we are proud to be a partner with Toyota Canada. Every new and used vehicle is negotiable when it comes to purchasing your vehicle here at Funk's Toyota. Our staff of many years is very knowledgeable and will help you, not force you with your buying decision. There are no hidden fees and no pressure tactics. Not only that, we promise what we deliver and have one of the best used vehicle warranties in the business. Our staff love to serve and you will feel like family after your first visit. We are not perfect, but we love to please here at Funk's Toyota. For those of you that have experienced our Funk's Toyota family way, please share it with others and like us and share us on Facebook. We are proud to be a sponsor of the Manitoba Amateur Sports. Visit us online at www.funks.toyota.ca.
Welcome back here inside Bell MTS Iceplex along the Manitoba Sports Network. Period 2 action is just about to start. Rory McGore and Theo Tutkaluk with you. Theo, what'd you like from both teams there in the opening 20?
I like the way Brandon came out in the first period, getting that first lead, but then not really giving up too much for the rest of that first period, maintaining the pressure on Miles Minor, throwing around the body to make sure they're getting the good hits along the boards. Kyle Bettens is not getting the puck, so that's very good for the Wheat Kings. And for the Winnipeg Wild, the intensity at the end of that first period, that emotion that they showed, if they can take that and they're able to reconvert it into positive offensive chances, we'll start seeing more offensive out of Winnipeg, potentially a couple of more goals. And we're going to see more excitement from both teams. I can guarantee you that here in the second period of Game 3, Rory.
Well, teams there come to center ice. They have switched sides. Wild on our broadcast left. Brandon on the broadcast right. Period 2 is brought to you by Pilot Mound Hockey Academy. Give them a look at. Puck is dropped, and period 2 here in Game 3 is on the way. Faceoff is won by the Wild onto the stick of Mason Waite. He slams that into the Brandon zone. Carib's off the boards. Ill-advised pass there. Whistle's blown. I think the puck may have hit a body in the Winnipeg Wild's bench and has...
No, it hit the official.
Hit the official.
Yeah, a couple of chirps from the Wheat Kings there, the bench there, telling them to get him out of the way, but give the officials a bit of a break. They have to do everything possible to stay out of the way. There's a lot of ice. Just shoot it somewhere else.
Faceoffs won by Brandon. Play D-to-D and now carried up by Thompson. Thompson's going to drive this into the attacking zone out of his nets. Minor's going to play it along the far side boards looking for Eric Fox. He kicks that up ahead, but put back deep by the Wheat Kings. Wheat Kings now on the puck, led there by Paddock. Paddock's looking for Orr on the near side boards here, just a little bit ahead of him. That allows Mitchell Joss to pick it up, swing back into his own zone, and with some speed, come out into the neutral ice. Number 20, Mitchell Josh going to carry this up. It's off a leg, stays in the attacking zone for the Wild. Bergen takes a drive at it. That misses the net, bounces off the backboards and onto the stick of Joss. He gets tied up, which allows Thompson to throw this weakly out on the stick of Calder Anderson. That falls onto the stick of Fox and cleared all the way down into the Brandon zone. Out of his net comes Green to swing this around the boards, intended for Nolan Ritchie. Ritchie now plays it up for McCallum. McCallum drops it for Halliday. Halliday tries to squeeze a shot off. Fans on that one. And back the other way comes Borger. Borger up ahead to Falk. Falk walking the line in the attacking zone. Walks high slot. Takes a shot. That's off the skate there of Reese Belton. Never makes its way to the net of Green. Falk, nice job to hem that one in the zone. Keep it in at the blue line. Out of his net comes Green. Plays it off the near side boards here for Halliday. He gets tripped up. No call on the play. And Wild hold this in. Falk finds Belton. Belton takes a shot. That goes wide behind the net of Green. But good job by Borger off the boards to hold that in. Now Belton behind his net. Just throws it onto the empty corner. Far side corner boards of the Brandon zone. Out now with McCallum, has some speed, gets tripped up. That's going to be a penalty for Ryan Gottfried as McCallum had a step on him, gets tripped up, and right in front of the ref's eyes, he's going to send big number 4 for the Wild into the box for 2 minutes.
2 minutes or less for Big Gottfried. Clearly a penalty there. Just had to release off the Brandon Wheat King forward that had a little extra speed. Quick interference call. Brandon Wheat Kings going on their second power play, 0 for 1 for the first one. This time around, Gottfried 2 minutes or less in the box for the Wild.
Power plays brought to you by GT Hockey for the Brandon Wheat Kings. Go to GTPerformanceHockey.com. Gottfried, 2 minutes for tripping. Heads into the sin bin, and Brandon onto the power play for the second time. McCallum now trying to walk the wall, drops it for Ritchie, back for McCallum, rink-wide pass intended for Paddock. He shrugs off the check there of Tristan Thompson. Paddock falls but gets up and gets the puck back down low onto the stick of Ritchie. Ritchie back to the point for Paddock. Low pass in front, trying to hammer away at it was, I believe, Halliday. Puck falls behind the net of Miles Minor and picked up back by Halliday to the point. DDD passes for Hunt. Good possession here for the Wheat Kings. Into the slot for Halliday. That's off the stick there of Tristan Thompson, Matt Shatsky. And up and over the net on the glass. Bounces now onto the stick of Ritchie. Walks in, takes a shot, tries to go short side, top corner, but off the shoulder of Miles Minor, and now cleared out by the Wild. They're going to hustle to the bench, all 4 of them, and get a line change. Mason Waite will stay. So 3 out of 4 get fuel and tires for the Winnipeg Wild. But good setup for the Wheat Kings on that power play attempt.
Nolan Ritchie looking for that quick shot just above the blocker side again. Just unable to find it, just a little too low.
Here's Sawchuk, drops it there for Kaspic. Kaspic fires a shot, and that's stopped by Miles Minor. I like what I've seen here for the second power play effort from Brandon Wheat Kings as opposed to the first one.
And we're seeing a lot of what they did at the beginning of the first period here in the second. Attacking, moving the puck forward, setting up well in the offensive zone, controlling the play. So far having the first 2 shots of this period. 47 still left on the power play for Brandon.
Collier gets waved out of the zone. In to take his place is Sawchuk. Sawchuk's going to win the draw to the empty wing and then cover up his Collier. Drops it back for Ryland Thiessen and back on the half wall for Collier. Into the slot, that's sticked away by Belton, but falls onto the stick of Sawchuk, and he's poked off by Mason Waite. Now down onto the half wall, playing a little give and go are Anderson and Ryland Thiessen. Back up to the point for Anderson. He takes a shot, but there was a lane of sight there for Miles Minor. Covers it up, no rebound like we usually see for number 1 of the Winnipeg Wild. But again, Brandon able to set it up. Have 4 shots on this power play.
They had that umbrella section, the 3 high, catching on Wilds with the 2 high, finding that open lane for, and Collier in front, providing that quick screen on Miles Minor. Saw it at the last second, able to control that rebound.
Back out comes power play unit 1 for the remaining 23 seconds. So far successful in the penalty kill from Murray, Chrysler, and Morton. Shot from the point from Damon Hunt. That's off a stick and into the netting and out of play. 3.5 minutes played here in the second period of Game 3. Manitoba Midget AAA Finals between the Wheat Kings and the Wild. 1-0 here in this game for Brandon. Wild lead the series 2-0. Faceoffs won by Brandon on the power play. Back to the point for Hunt. He goes DDD over to Paddock. Paddock having a little bit of trouble with the puck, but gets it down low for Halliday. Halliday then gets sticked off by Bergen. Bergen trying to get to Benedictson and does. Benedictson is walking the puck out instead of dumping it, but he gets stripped off by Ritchie, but does kill off the penalty. Gottfried out of the box. We're back to 5-on-5. An outlet pass, Halliday intended for McCallum. That's stopped by Mason Waite onto the stick of Fox, and a touch pass up for Belton. That's Bettens. Kyle Bettens loses the puck onto the stick. Long lead pass intended for Ritchie. No icing. It's going to be waved off. They say it touched the stick of Nolan Ritchie. Battling in the corner there for Drake Burgeon. Ritchie now, second effort. Burgeon wins that one and gets the puck out for Kyle Bettens. Bettens going to take this wide down the left wing. And the high slot now for Joss. Takes it, throws it back to Bettens. Couple of whacks at it, but a good defensive play once again for Rylan Thiessen. Rylan Thiessen has been in position all game long so far for the Wheat Kings to stifle that top line. Now in comes Morrison with the shot, bouncing puck off a leg, goes wide of the net, bounces back to Nolan Ritchie. He throws it into the open slot. Good forecheck there by Collier, but off the glass are the Winnipeg Wild, back onto the stick of Bettens. Bettens now throws a backhand behind the net of Green. On the puck was Fox and Joss. Joss slaps the puck away from the Wheat Kings, and a big hit there from Bettens on one of the Wheat Kings player, I believe in Jared Torticlib. Torticlib now back on his feet as the Brandon Wheat Kings enter the Winnipeg Wild zone. Trying to hold the puck in was Tanner Morrison. Puck does get out, so they're going to have to check up, get onside. It's thrown back in by the Wheat Kings out of his net's minor. He leaves this for Matt Shatsky, and Shatsky's going to walk this out all by himself. Couple of nice moves around defenseman. Walks in, takes a shot. And the whistle had blown, I believe, offside, but Dawson Green was in position whether or not there was offside.
Simple long wrist shot there put on the net by Shatsky. Just not seeing the overall impressiveness, the flow that the Wheat Kings is showing that the Wild aren't. It seems like there's only 2 or 3 players on the Wild moving their feet, whereas you see all 5 Wheat Kings moving with the play, moving the pucks wide, and moving the puck into the offensive zone.
Face-off is won by the Wheat Kings. That's ringed off the glass and out to center ice, where Sawchuk's with it, and Halliday. Pardon me, that was McCallum to Halliday. McCallum now rides his man into the boards, and puck falls back onto the blue line of Brandon. Bit of neutralized play again here for both teams as Thompson touches this up to Kluchuk. Kluchuk taking it wide. Takes it back to his forehand and throws it through the blue paint. Back to the point for Gottfried. He takes a shot that hits a body in front and misses the net, not by much. I'm not sure if goaltender Green saw the deflection. Crowd wants a penalty, as I believe it was Tristan Thompson gets taken down.
Bit of a hog tie down there below the red.
No call, says the referees. We continue 5-on-5, 1-0 Brandon here in the second period. We've played 6.5 minutes. Back to the way comes Sawchuk. Sawchuk, toe drag move, throws the backhand towards the net, gloved away by Miles. Minor makes his 12th save of the game.
Pretty impressive non-call there, Roy, behind the red line there. Brandon Wheat Kings got away with a penalty. Nonetheless, we still have about 6:25 here gone in the second period. Love the intensity Brandon's showing. They're keeping up the pace, keeping the Winnipeg Wild on their heels.
Face off to the glove side of Minor, to the point for Orsi. Nice shot. That's a great kick save by Miles Minor. Crowd thought it was in as no one saw the puck get towards the net except for the goaltender of the Winnipeg Wild, who sticks out the right leg and makes the save. Back the other way is Fisher riding his man into the boards. Wild and Wheat Kings back to the point for Mason Waite. Throws a shot. Rebound chance for Folk. He scores! Zach Folk picks up the loose puck in the high slot, spins and fires, and goes glove side on goaltender Green. And just like that, we have a 1-1 tie game. And Zach Folk, we talked about him in the pregame show, led the league in goals with 42 throughout the regular season, has yet to find the netting in the playoffs, and got a big one there for Winnipeg.
That is more than a spark. That is the firework the Winnipeg Wild needed tonight. Seeing Falk get on the scoreboard, and watch this quick strike offense try to do it again.
Brandon quickly on the turnaround with Cook. Cook throws it towards the net. Stopped by Minor. Rebound chance. And cleared away by the Winnipeg Wild. Collier, though, picks up the loose puck. Throws it back down low for Morrison. On it now is Mitchell Joss as he skates it out with speed into the Brandon Wheat Kings zone. Stops up at the side of the circle there. Far side boards. Gets knocked off the puck and back the other way come the Wheat Mason Waite and Reese Belton are going to pick up the 2 assists on the goal by Zach Falk. As the Winnipeg Wild stop up behind their net and look for a breakout. Led by Matt Shatsky. Shatsky head up, skating through his own zone. Now onto the stick of Fox. He dumps this into the attacking zone of Brandon. Defense of the Wild go to make a change. Forward hard on the forecheck. Kyle Betton's there, being pinched up against the board by Thiessen. Puck comes to the point for Gottfried. There's a shot and a save by Dawson Green. 1-1 here in the second period. And you mentioned it, that was the spark that the Winnipeg Wild needed. A loose puck opportunity in the high slot after a shot from Mason Waite hit a body. Wasted no time with Zach Falk on the rebound chance.
And it was one of those things that Dawson Green just wasn't able to reset to see that second shot. I'm pretty sure that second one had seeing eyes right over the glove. We got a 1-1 hockey game here in the middle of the second.
Reese Belton's going to lose the faceoff there. Dylan Halliday gets tripped up, and there's no call once again by the referees. Puck comes back into the Brandon Wheat King zone. Reese Belton trying to throw that back to his forward onto the stick of Gottfried. He just lifts this high and deep into Wheat King's territory. Takes a funny bounce, falls behind the net. And Reese Belton was first on it, but shrugged off the puck by the Wheat Kings defenseman. Back to the point for Borger. He takes a shot. Hits a body, falls onto the far side. Half wall there where Falk's going to throw this back down behind the net of Dawson Green. Now Jared Twirtlecliff's going to throw his man off the puck, get to the point, and held in once again by Gottfried. Behind the net of Green. Belton is going to go for Benedictson. Throws it in front, looking for Falk. That misses his stick and falls onto the near side boards where Brandon clears it out momentarily, but once again sent back in by Gottfried. Brandon now looking for the breakout. Intended for McCallum, a little bit ahead of him. Gottfried once again in position, clears that back to the blue line of the Wheat Kings. Clearing attempt by Keegan Morrison into the bench is going to get a face-off here. We played 9:01 in the second period. The Wild have the goal in the second period to tie this one up at 1.
Wild have done what they've needed to do in the first part of this second period. That's tie this game. Steal some of that momentum from Brandon. Brandon's got to look to take it back and finish the period strong.
Face-off in the neutral zone, won by Brandon, and quickly out comes Hunt. Damon Hunt with some room, trying to feather a pass onto Nolan Ritchie, but sticked away by Drake Burgeon. Third man support was Paddock. He whistles this around the boards onto the stick of Ritchie now. Ritchie trying to shrug off the check of Kluchuk. Once again, helped out by Anderson. Anderson trying to throw the puck even deeper into the Wild zone. 4 bodies in there, now 6. Comes out, the Wheat Kings with it, and Anderson. He gets hit along the boards, but gets to the point for Hunt. Hunt, an intended shot wide onto the stick of Anderson. Now a wraparound attempt. Great pass there, vision by Hunt. But Anderson couldn't quite find the back of the net as Miles Minor was in perfect position. Puck now onto the stick of Ritchie. Ritchie into the slot, takes a shot. That's just wide, low glove side of Miles Minor. But Brandon maintains possession in the attacking zone. On the stick. Now Tanner Morrison. Morrison being worked there by Mason Waite. Waite just throws this out lightly into the neutral zone. On to check up are the Wheat Kings, but quickly back in comes Collier. Collier now takes it wide around Burgeon. Head up looking to center it. Goes back far side, half wall there for Morrison. Tanner Morrison back for Collier. Collier shakes off the check of Kyle Bettens. In to help out Morrison. 4 bodies now. The 5th one comes in for the Wild. But now Morrison with the puck. Throws it over for Cook. And a great save once again for Miles Minor. Brandon trying to shove him in maybe a little bit late. Wild again taking exception to that. I'm not sure if Miles Minor knew where the puck was. He may have felt it, but didn't know if it got by him or not.
He felt the save, but you're exactly right, Roy. He wasn't able to know where that rebound was. I think it was stuck in the left-sided pad inside that knee cup there, and he was able to find a cover with his glove. But Brandon was able to crash the net before the whistle there. A little bit of commotion, a little bit of concern there in front of the Wild netminder. But that's what Brandon has to do here to keep moving that pace, keep bringing the offense, and causing trouble for those Wild defense. Puck was on the sideboards, easily could have been cleared by the Winnipeg Wild team. Brandon just showed a little more effort, a little more heart, came across with a 2-on-1 and a great scoring opportunity. Miles Minor just came back that much faster.
Wild defense always have to be on a swivel, as the Brandon Wheat Kings can turn it up ice in a flash.
Well, that's what they've been doing all game, is they've been able to capitalize on the miscues that the Wild have been making, and so far that's been the difference in this game compared to the first two.
Face-offs won by Winnipeg. Joe Kraus goes to Dita Shatsky. Shatsky now up to Mitchell Joss, and Joss over to Fox. Fox is going to walk it in. Touch pass up to Kyle Bettens. Kyle Bettens stands up his man and gets the puck over to Fox. Fox takes it around the net. Head up. Now taking it wide on the right wing here. Drops it back down low. Bettens finds Fox in the slot. Takes a shot. Fans on it. Second effort for Joss. As it's sticked away by the goaltender Green. Golden opportunity there for Eric Fox. We're going to get a penalty behind the play. I believe it's going to the Wheat Kings in number 22 in Jake Thompson as he threw down Eric Fox not once but twice. Fox is going to go as well. So coincidental minors, I believe, is going to be the call. Unfortunate for Brandon as they had a break going the other way with Dylan Halliday.
But it was the Brandon player that was causing the commotion and causing the penalty.
Yeah.
Just he dragged a Wild player to the penalty box, so it's coincidentals. Clearly could have been a first power play. We still haven't seen a power play for the Wild. Not that it matters since they've been 4 for 41 in the playoffs.
Gottfried takes the puck off the faceoff, throws it behind his net. Thompson gets the roughing call for Brandon. Fox gets the interference call for Winnipeg. And it's 5-on-5. Puck is inside the Wild zone. And on it is Fisher. Fisher looking for a lead pass intended for Falk. That bounces off his stick and onto the stick of Paddock, who sends it back into the Wild zone. Gottfried now back to retreat. Gets the puck high off the glass. Bouncing. And here's a 2-on-2 led by Reese Belton. Now a 3-on-2. Belton shoots. That's wide, blocker side of Green. Puck bounces back to the point, held in there by Gottfried. Gottfried gets it down deep, but the Brandon Wheat Kings are going to turn it up ice, led by Nolan Ritchie. He takes a bump along the near side boards, but gets the puck in. And they're going to go make a line change as the long lead pass intended for Zach Falk. Rink wide now back to Gottfried. Gottfried's going to skate his 6'5" frame into the zone and dump it in. Risky line change for the Wild as a long lead pass here for Cook. Cook trying to chip it around the defenseman and Burgeon. Burgeon rides him into the boards very nicely. And we're going to get another penalty here. A slashing call coming up to, I believe, is it the Winnipeg Wild?
No, I think it's going to Cook, number 19.
Cook. After losing the puck to Burgeon, took liberty on his stick and slashed.
No, you're exactly right, Rory. It's just fact of just losing your composure in the offensive zone, and you're taking a penalty 200 feet away from your own net. Just got to get the feet moving and just use your body like you have been doing here in the first, period and a half. Just get a little bit lazy.
We're going to see the first penalty kill for Murray Chrysler in Morden for the Brandon Wheat Kings. Power play for GT Hockey, GT Performance Hockey for the Wild. First one of the game. Here with 7:32 remaining in the second period in a 1-1 tie. Reese Belton's going to throw this down. And now over to Bettens. Bettens is going to walk it up. Trying to work the cycle on the power play for the Wild, which is at a 9.8% throughout these playoffs. 4 for 41 are the Winnipeg Wild. Puck comes to the point, held in there for Mason Waite. Walks it down, throws it back along the boards, but first on it is Paddock. Paddock can't get enough heat on the puck to keep it in. A shot from the point from Shatsky. That's off the stick of Green and into the far side corner boards. First one on that is Caden Bryant. Bryant is going to get tied up, but in comes Reese Belton to help out. Falls into the high slot again, can't clear. Shatsky holds it in. D to Wait. It's going to go back up top for Shatsky. There's a shot from Matt Shatsky. That misses the net. Stick side of goaltender Dawson Green. And Brandon Wheat Kings clears this one out. 1 minute gone. Dangerous opportunity there. Miles Minor was being pressured hard by Sawchuk of the Wheat Kings. Clears it onto Mason Waite, and back the other way comes the captain for the Wild. He's going to take it on his backhand down the right wing. Now around the net, drops it up for Mitchell Joss. Joss trades places with Mason Waite and goes up for Zach Falk. Falk at the top of the circle, far side for the Wild. He's going to walk in, take a shot. That missed it. Glove side of Dawson Green, but not by much as it carabs off the boards. Hemmed back in by Waite. And Tristan Thompson holds the boards nicely, keeps it in for the Wild. Zach Falk walks it in again. throws it towards the front of the net. Joss, one whack at it, two whacks at it, rebound, they score! Tristan Thompson on the man advantage. Third attempt for the Wild. It's 2-1 for Winnipeg.
And it's a power play goal by the Wild nonetheless. A lot of commotion in front of the net in front of Dawson Green. Rebound was real juicy. Just went over his blocker's side. A couple of Wild had a couple of cracks at it. We'll have to see who finally did get their loose stick on that puck.
I think number 8, Tristan Thompson, was the last one who touched it after Zach Falk had a few whacks at it. Mitchell Joss had a couple whacks at it. And the third option was Tristan Thompson. And you're right, the power play goal for Winnipeg. Their 5th of the playoffs in 42 attempts. But still, a huge one when you need your power play to click. Right there, 2-1 for the Wild.
Absolutely. When nothing really is going well, you rely on some sort of spark. That firework of Falk, the first one, now the power play for the second one. The Wild are definitely moving on better cylinders.
And back on the attack are the Wild, lifted out of the Brandon Wheat Kings zone. But the second defenseman back to retreat and cover up. Tristan Thompson does get the goal. Assisted by Mitchell Joss and Zach Falk. So that whole line, the unit of the forwards, all pick up a point on that go-ahead goal for the Winnipeg Wild. And Brandon Wheat Kings are going to have to find a way to regroup and try to get themselves back knotted up here with the Wild.
They're still doing great work. They just haven't been able to beat Miles Minor. They got to continue to move the puck into the offensive zone, get some more commotion in front of him. He does not like that.
Kyle Bettens wins the face-off, but gets tied up right after. Plays it back for Mason Waite, and Waite's going to carry this one out to the red line and throw it into the Brandon's territory. Ringed around the boards by the goaltender of the Wheat Kings. Onto the puck is Orr. He gets a hit there from Joss. Now Bettens hits his man and keeps the puck in. Nice job from the Wild, but Brandon do lift Bettens' stick and gets it out. Led there by McCallum. McCallum now. No, pardon me, that's Cook. Cook whistles a shot. Misses the net glove side of Miles Minor. Caribs off the boards and back on the attack on the Wild off the bounce. Bettens now over to Fox. Fox for Bettens. That's off a stick. Nice defensive play there by Thompson. And back to the way comes Colin Cook. Colin Cook takes it outside around Mason Waite. Being steered into the far side corner by the captain of the Wild. Cook just throws it down low. On for Anderson. Anderson's intended pass looking for Ritchie. Is intercepted by Kluchuk. And back the other way comes Eric Fox for the Winnipeg Wild. Eric Fox now gets sticked off the puck by Thompson. Back holding the line there was Kluchuk. Fox over to Kluchuk. He takes a shot. And I believe it was blocked by Thompson in front of the net. Falls into the corner. Kluchuk back on the puck. On the near side corner boards here in the attacking zone for the Wild. Thompson has an open man in the slot. Throws it to him as that's Reese Belton. Couldn't have enough time to get the shot off. Back the other way. 4-on-2, 3-on-2. Wheat Kings. Ritchie with it. Throws it to the net. Great play by Shatsky to stick away that centering attempt by Ritchie. Back on the puck is Nolan Ritchie. He's going to walk the line, high slot, throw a shot off a body. That falls into the near side corner boards. Tipped away by a defenseman or possibly one of the forwards sitting in front of the net for Brandon. Now Keegan Morrison is going to go D up to Twerticlib. Twerticlib gets the line and throws it in. Out of his net's Minor to stop that for the defenseman in Shatsky. And like we've seen all year, Matt Shatsky is going to wind it up and take it out of his offensive zone. And now hammers this in just halfway through as it hits the body of Twerticlib. And now Twerticlib goes for Halliday. Halliday, intended pass for McCallum, is a little bit ahead of him. Back the other way come the Wild. Luke Benedictson may have a step. Out of his net comes Green. And Green gets the better of him, but a rebound chance. Green may have lost his stick. No, it's the stick of the defenseman. Dawson Green about 12 feet out of his net to stop Luke Benedictson, who may have had a step on the defenseman. And risky play by Green, but I guess successful one for the Brandon Wheat Kings goaltender.
You always don't like seeing a goalie come out like that when it's a 50-50 call. Yeah, he was able to make the stop. Didn't know where the puck was. It was stuck between his legs. And I think it was Benedictson that stopped that at second attempt by the Wild, taking it off the shin pad. Nonetheless, great action both ends of the net here. Just over 3 minutes left in the second. Brandon's got to get the equalizer goal to kind of break those hearts of the Wild. For all the great work they've done this second period, Brandon would love to see get the equalizer here in the last three.
Face-off won by Brandon. Quick shot right into the catcher of Miles Minor. He's going to hold that cover up for a face-off. 2:55 remaining in the second. The Wild bounce back after 20 minutes, score both goals in the second here, and take the 1-goal lead in Game 3 of the Manitoba Midget AAA Finals. 2-0 the series lead for Winnipeg Wild. Brandon's going to have to find a way to get this one knotted up and get the lead if they want to stay alive here in the championship round. And go on to the TELUS Cup West Regional Finals. Of course, Winnipeg had that opportunity last year as they were the defending city champions here in the Manitoba Midget AAA Hockey League, looking to make it 2 in a row and 5 of the last 7. Ryland Thompson now throws this into the open ice area where it's picked up by Gottfried, and Gottfried just going to throw this into Wild zone. One up man on the forecheck. Here comes the second one. Mitchell Joss into the slot for Bettens, and that's just behind him. And on now are the Wheat Kings on the near side boards. Just spinning this down low, a little bit loosely. Brandon now does get the puck out. Tanner Morrison takes a bit of a slip, and Kyle Bettens falls right on the loose puck. Kyle Bettens now winds up, takes it in, takes it wide, right wing, throws it in front of the net off a stick of one of the Wheat Kings defensemen, and all the way down the ice. This isn't going to have enough for icing, and the goalie's out of his net to play it up for Alec Borger. Alec Borger now, the defenseman here for the Winnipeg Wild's going to take that wide on the right side around Hunt, stops up behind the net, now goes the other way, leaves it there for Fox, but Fox gets stripped off the puck by Collier. And he's looking for Anderson. Anderson having a little bit of trouble as he's being forechecked on. Good forecheck by the Wild, forcing another turnover. Fox now slams that back in deep. Onto the stick of Joss, who leaves that one for Bettens. Once again, Damon Hunt trying to look up ahead for Ritchie. It's a little bit ahead of him. And onto the stick of Drake Burgeon. Burgeon up to Fox. Fox is going to turn on the Jets and speed this through the neutral ice into the attacking zone. Through the legs of Hunt. But Hunt does, on the second effort, get the puck to the boards, and now out from the Wheat Kings. Only to the red line, as there was Mason Waite waiting there to send this one back in, and on the attack are the Wild. Brandon have been hemmed into their zone for the better of the last 2 minutes. Once again turned over in the neutral zone. Here comes Tristan Thompson. He takes a shot. That's off a skate and over the net. Last minute of play here in the second period, as Ritchie's going to lead the attack for the Wheat Kings. Looking for Anderson. Good defensive play there for Burgeon. Wild all over Brandon in the final 5 here in the second period. Tristan Thompson now, one hand on his backhand, throws it onto the net. That misses the net. It hits the glass, goes through the netting, and someone's going to have a souvenir.
Someone needs to take a break real quick, and I'll jump in real as I can. Winnipeg Wild have taken over the play in the last 4 minutes here, putting the Brandon Wheat Kings on their heels, and there hasn't been an answer for Brandon because everything has been against their goalie, Dawson Green. Shots coming from everywhere, pressure coming from everywhere, and different passing lanes that Brandon hasn't seen all game. They haven't been able to intercept these passes in this attack that the Wild have thrown out here in the last second part of the second period.
Winnipeg wins the faceoff in the neutral zone. Mason Waite was looking for Benedictson. Off his stick and onto the stick. Now the Wheat Kings up ahead for Sawchuk. Bouncing puck. Falls onto the stick of Halliday, back for Sawchuk. He takes a shot. Glove save by Miles Minor. An easy one for him in his 19th save of the game.
No, an easy and a light shot there put on by the Brandon team. But they do have 24 seconds, so maybe they've got to set players something to give them one more scoring or 2 more scoring opportunities before the period's out. They probably would love to see a second goal here put in so they can go into the third tied up.
24 seconds left in the second period. 2-1 for Winnipeg in a jam-packed house here at the Bell MTS Iceplex for what is Game 3 of the Manitoba Midget AAA Championship round. Wild win the faceoff, and out comes Bettens with it. Bettens looking for Fox, and he can't quite find the puck on the one-time effort backdoor. Back comes Brandon with the 2-1-2. 10 seconds left in the second. There's a shot from McCallum, the goal scorer earlier for Brandon. That goes wide of the net. 5 seconds. McCallum behind the net with it. Send it for Ritchie. He tries to take a whack at it. A third opportunity for McCallum, and that's going to do it here for 40 minutes of play between the Winnipeg Wild and the Brandon Wheat Kings. Winnipeg Wild down 1-0 entering this frame. Have answered back with 2 of their own and takes the lead. 20 minutes of life left for the Brandon Wheat Kings to try to turn this thing around and get a win.
A final third period left, continuing to do what they've been doing for the first part of this game. Nothing short of great hockey for both teams. We just have one team that was able to get one extra goal here in the second. Brandon has to fight for the their proverbial lives here, their season ending potentially here after 20 more minutes. The Winnipeg Wild, we've seen them play, we've seen them do this again. But this is, I think, the first power play goal I think we've had with them all season. And it's their 5th one in the playoffs thus far, putting them ahead 2-1 against the Brandon Wheat Kings. The Brandon Wheat Kings, I mean, nothing short of great effort all around. Dawson Green playing great between the pipes. But just got a couple goals here to make sure we go to Game 4 in Brandon Wednesday evening. Roy, what'd you like in the second period there?
I liked, well, I mean, it is especially the last 5 minutes. It's what you saw. Wild were able to open up the second period. They get 2 goals and then absolutely shut down all the offensive opportunities for Brandon in the remaining probably 6 or 5 minutes in the second period. Every time Brandon was looking to break it out of their zone, they were stopped up. If it wasn't the blue line, it was the red line and sent right back in. Every time they were trying to get out, again, hard on the puck, on the lines, holding the lines were the Wild, stifling every offensive opportunity for Brandon. And, you know, that's got a frustrated team when they can't get the puck out of their zone and into the attacking zone and on the offensive attack.
So you've hit the nail right on the head there, Roy. It's one of those things that the Winnipeg Wild do so well is they trap you and they make you come play to them. And then as soon as they've got that opportunity that you've made the mistake, they attack and they put that pressure on you, that prowess. And you saw it in the first goal with Falk finally getting through, potting his first goal of the playoffs. And then you see the same thing, that opportunity in front of the net, that loose, juicy rebound, and having Tristan Thompson, not his early goal, to get the second one of the night for the Wild to give them that 2-1 lead. The bottom line is Brandon has to eliminate the amount of mistakes they're putting into that in the neutral zone, because as soon as they make that neutral zone mistake, Winnipeg is moving on the product, and they're making great scoring opportunities. Dawson Green is only human, and he's done a great job thus far. Brandon just has to eliminate those mistakes in the third and come away with 2 goals to make this a victory for the Wheat Kings to make it to Game 4.
Scoring summary as follows after 40 minutes. Opening frame, Lyndon McCallum scores the game's opening goal to put Brandon up 1-0, assisted by Halliday and Tuerteclub. That was Lyndon McCallum's 14th point of the playoffs. That would be it for the goals after 20 minutes. Second period would start, and the Wild would put their foot on the gas. Zach Falk ties the game, assisted by Mason Waite. Falk's first goal of the playoffs, his 7th point, and the Wild would later take the lead 2-1 on the stick of Tristan Thompson, assisted by Mitchell Joss and Zach Falk. So 2-1, the favor in front of the Winnipeg Wild over the Brandon Wheat Kings after 40 minutes.
We come back, we're going to have Jerry Bettens with us with an interview. Not talking hockey, we're talking baseball. Hopefully we can get the first baseline set up with us. We'll be back after a couple of commercials with him here on the Manitoba Sports Network. 2-1 Wild, 20 minutes left for the Brandon Lives.
At Super 8 Winnipeg West, we have your comfort in mind with free Wi-Fi and free daily Superstart breakfast. We also have guest laundry facilities, a state-of-the-art fitness center, and a jetted hot tub. Sleep well in a spacious guest room equipped with plush new bedding, a 50-inch flat-screen HD TV, microwave, mini refrigerator, and Keurig coffee maker. Or book a suite with a kitchen, ideal for extended stays. Super 8 Winnipeg West, located just inside the perimeter on Portage Avenue.
Welcome to MB Seeds. I'm Matt and this is B, and we're a family-run business. We've been operating since 2012 and we sell canola, soybeans, corn, wheat, barley, oats, and peas. We also run a cleaning facility on site just south of Low Farm where we can clean almost anything that you can grow. Come check us out today.
Hi, I'm Cassandra Curie with Farm Fitness. We're located in Hildesheim, Manitoba. We do everything from personal training, group training classes, yoga and flexible steel. We also focus on young athletes. We do not only just the strength and conditioning, but the agility, power, rotational control and strength. And flexibility, stability, and mobility is always super important. You can find us at fermfitness.ca and come check us out.
Back here on the Manitoba Sports Network, 2-1, the Wild over the Brandon Wheat Kings. A little bit of snow on the ground, but we're still going to talk some baseball. I've got Jamie Bettens with me, president of junior baseball here in Manitoba. Jamie, thank you for joining us on the show. What's coming up here? I know we got some snow, but what's going on here? Potentially a new team being added to the program?
Yeah, we've got a lot of excitement going right now. The league executives are already meeting, so the Manitoba Junior Baseball League starts in May, but you know, we've got our college players already starting their seasons down south. We expect a lot of them to come back, which is really the core of the league. And yeah, you've heard some rumors. It hasn't been officially approved yet, but the area of Portage, Manitoba will look to be the next member of the 9th team of the Manitoba Junior Baseball League this summer.
That's fantastic news. So how many teams are in Winnipeg? How many teams surrounding Winnipeg?
We've got the Elmwood Giants, St. Boniface Legionnaires, St. James A's in Winnipeg. Then we've got Interlake, Portage, Carillon, Altona, Pembina Valley, hopefully Portage, and the Brandon Marlins out in Brandon. So we've really got a provincial-wide league now.
And if I recall, it was the Elmwood Giants and the St. James team last year that made it to the finals, correct?
Yeah, that's correct. And St. James won their first title in a long time, and they're representing our league at Nationals this year.
Fabulous. I had a lot of friends. I actually knew the coaches of the Elmwood Giants, so they weren't too happy, but nonetheless, congratulations to St. James. Season starts in May. Anything that we should be looking for in the summer? Any highlights? Is there an all-star game? Is something to come out for these guys?
Yeah, we always do an all-star game kind of in the late June, early July time frame where we try to get our team together. You know, it's never a bad time to get out to a Manitoba Junior Baseball League game. There's always you know, a lot of college players, a lot of local players in every area, and it's always just an exciting brand of baseball. Baseball in Manitoba in general gets really hot at the end of July and August once everybody's got their reps in, and that's the ideal time to be at a game.
So for Junior Baseball Manitoba, the ages of the players are
18 to 21, just like the Manitoba Junior Hockey League.
Perfect. So then all these players, they have potential to go away to college, Division III, Division I?
You know what? We've got players that have played in our league that are playing at Virginia Tech University right now. We've got guys at Creighton University. We have guys all over the place at Division I right through to Division III. We don't have the University of Winnipeg program anymore, so we're going to see a flood of players going further down south now as well.
Now, you hit the curveball there, because last year we lost the program at the University of Winnipeg. A huge uproar as to why. We won't get into that side of it. But what do you think about the fact that a university program lets go a baseball program that allows players, brings student athletes here to Winnipeg? I mean, I understood that there were a couple of players from Australia that were coming to Winnipeg to play ball.
Yeah, it's a very it's a catch-22. You know, depending upon which side you're on, and I don't think anybody was happy whether it was the university or the players. But you know, when you have a program that is solely funded off the backs of the players, it's one thing to be a student and pay that kind of money. It's another thing to be a student athlete, pay the money for your tuition, and then pay on top of that. So it makes it very, very tough on those young gentlemen. So I could see where the shortfalls may have come, but. You know, I'm a baseball purist to heart, and I would love to have seen the program go. Can it maybe come back? I don't know. Maybe we start with a high school academy and try to, you know, reopen the pipeline from there. But it's disappointing to say the least. Our league might suffer, but I think we're gonna move on, and adding teams like Portage and Brandon and you know, possibly other teams next year already. We're in talks. We're only going to get bigger too.
Well, I'll leave it with that right now, Jamie. Last question for you. Do the Gold Eyes make it 3 in a row, go back to back to back? And how well has this Gold Eyes program helped Junior Baseball Manitoba?
The Winnipeg Goldeyes have been paramount to the success of the Manitoba Junior Baseball League, whether it be giving players opportunities to help bullpen catching or one-on-one. There's some training aspects there, and the general manager Andrew Collier and Rick Forney, the manager, the skip of the team, has been fantastic. If there's ever a young player that needs a little bit of help or even just a little bit of advice or even to help get down to college, we wouldn't be the program we are without the Goldeyes, and we look forward to cheering them on to the third straight championship.
There you have it. President, Junior Baseball Manitoba, Jamie Bettens, thank you for your time. This interview brought to you by CM Engrave. If you're looking for trophies or medals for your next tournament, call CM Engrave today, 204-224-2416. Best prices in Manitoba, cmengrave.ca. They'll even ship it to you all over Manitoba. Jamie, thanks for joining us. Great job. Hopefully the baseball season starts in May. It's not that too delayed. And hopefully we see some champions come August. We'll be back to you with you. Third period action. The call, Rory McGore and Theo Tutkaluk with you here on the Manitoba Sports Network. Game 3, Manitoba AAA Midget Hockey.
MTS Iceplex for period 3 of game 3 of the Manitoba Midget AAA championship round between the Winnipeg Wild and the Brandon Wheat Kings. Scoring summary: Brandon scored in the first period to go up 1-0. Lyndon McCallum assisted by Halliday and Twerticlip. Second period was all Winnipeg as they answered back, making it 1-1. Zach Falk picks up his first of the postseason, assisted by Mason Waite. And then the go-ahead goal for Winnipeg, Tristan Thompson by Mitchell Joss, and Zach Falk picks up his second point of the night. Winnipeg 2, Brandon 1. Team switch side for the final time. 20 more minutes left here unless Brandon can find a way to knot this one up. Puck is dropped and we are on our way here in the third period as the puck is sent in quickly into the Winnipeg zone, and hard on the forecheck are the Wheat Kings. Back behind the net, shot comes out from a weak side by McCallum, steered aside by the goaltender and falls into the corner on the far side boards where it's picked up by Mitchell Joss. Joss is going to go up to Fox, and Fox back to Joss. Quick with speed down the wing, sidesteps the defenseman, takes it behind the net. As Joss still on the puck is Mitchell Joss. Out in front to Fox. Good save there by Green, but the rebound popped right in front of him. Wild couldn't capitalize on that one. And here comes Sawchuk. Sawchuk now with the puck. He's going to take it down the right wing into the slot. Tries to whistle up a shot. Fans on that. On the trail there are the Wheat Kings in Orr. Back on the stick now of Halliday. Halliday spins off a check, throws it to the net, stopped by Minor. First save of the period for Miles Minor of the Wild. 19-11 remaining in the second. Now that's what you want to see from the Brandon Wheat Kings coming out of the dressing room in the third period here, down by 1.
They've started both periods extremely well. Lots of intensity, lots of speed. First great scoring chance there for the Wheat Kings. Tried to go between the blocker and the body. Miles Minor able to pinch it to get the stop and play.
Face-off glove side of Miles Minor's won there by the Wild and carried out by Benedictson. Benedictson now taking it one-on-one, trying to get around Damon Hunt. He sticks him off the puck, and Brandon throws it back out to the center ice, where it's slammed back in by Matt Shatsky. Bounces off the boards. Out of his net is Green. Leaves this for Rylan Thiessen, but he gets forechecked nicely there by Reese Belton. In to help out is Collier. Zach Falk closes it in on the forward, and back the other way comes the Wild with Belton. Belton over to Falk. Falk takes a shot that doesn't miss by much. Zach Falk looking for his 3rd point, 2nd goal of the game. Missed the net glove side by a few inches. Now being pinned up against the boards by Collier. Falk squeezes out of that. On the boards with the half wall, throws it into the front of the net. That's off the skate of Reese Belton and falls back behind the goaltender in Dawson Green. Wild forecheckers get pinched up along the boards. Brandon with Anderson is looking to get it out and does. Colin Cook gets the loose puck and flips it down the ice. Full line change here for the Wheat Kings as the Wild regroup in their own end with Matt Shatsky. Shatsky's now going to flip this up into the neutral ice and on the stick of Morrison. Morrison gets to Anderson, and he slaps this just momentarily out into the Wild zone. Back the other way comes Caden Bryant with it. Bryant now trying to get around the defenseman in Jordan. Jordan pinches Bryant up against the corner boards. Far side, 4 bodies, 2 from each team in there, and out comes Brandon with Rylan Anderson and the puck. Anderson now trying to get it up for Keegan Morrison. Morrison getting tied up nicely there by Leshavo. Pardon me, no, that's Caden Bryant, number 15. Back up for Paddock as Paddock's looking for the loose puck in the slot for Caden Bryant. He takes a one-timer, and square to position was Dawson Green to keep this a 1-goal game, but a good scoring opportunity there for Winnipeg as Brandon was tied up in their own zone.
I mean, Bryant just right in the middle of the slot, put everything behind that shot, and Dawson Green slid over, like you said, took it in the breadbasket.
Eric Fox tried to squeeze a shot off, now into the slot. It's under the skate of Mitchell Joss. He rides this one into the near side corner boards. Now Benton's with it, leaves it there for Joss. Joss tries to take a shot. That's off the skate of one of the Wheat Kings defensemen in Jared Twirteclib. Puck from Gottfried, thrown back in the Wheat Kings zone. Twirteclib first one on it. He's going to throw this up to Dylan Halliday, and Halliday is going to chip this up, looking intended for Sawchuk, intercepted by Joss. Joss trying to turn it up the other way, but sticked off the puck by Halliday. Halliday takes a big hit by Bettens, manages to get the puck deeper in, but Wild take control of that and work the breakout. Fox looking for Bettens, finds him for a bit, but then sticked off again by Twirteclib. Wild now with a little bit of room with Kyle Bettens down the left wing. He's going to throw it into the slot. Benedictson was the man racing towards the net. Couldn't quite find the puck as it was a few feet off the ground. And now Brandon trying to get this deep into Wild zone, but again holding the line nicely are the Winnipeg Wild and carried out. Big hit along the boards. Laid out Jake Thompson on, I believe it was Benedictson. Big clean hit from the forward of the Brandon Wheat Kings. Zach Falk now drops it for Burgeon. He throws a shot. That's kicked away by Green. Kept in by the Wild around the net. Green steers this one away from the slot. Falls onto the stick of Waite off a skate of the Wheat Kings defenseman. And Waite now pinching in from the zone, trying to keep it in. Thompson does. On for Waite into the slot. Belton with a shot. And that's saved by Green. Makes his finest effort here in the third period. 15-43, 2-1 for the Wild. Clear-cut opportunity in front for Reese Belton, but there was Dawson Green once again catching that loose puck.
Dustin Green able to get that trapper on it. Belton left wide open. I mean, he probably could have counted for a good 6-5 seconds there, and thankfully Dawson Green was able to make the glove save. Belton could have pulled a forehand backhand. He could have pulled a forehand. Probably could have called skip the dishes if he wanted to. Nonetheless, we still have a 2-1 hockey game.
Face off to the glove side of Dawson Green. Skip the dishes are quick. They're quick.
I mean, he could have had dinner for 2 over there, candlelit style.
Couple of words from the linesman.
And no, Skip the Dishes did not pay us to say that.
Did you even get a couple freebies maybe or no?
Hopefully.
Oh.
I did get the $20 GC at the Jets game versus...
nice.
I was in the row. I won, so I was happy.
Oh, there you go.
Haven't used it yet.
It's not food in those boxes that they pass along.
No, it was just a GC. And a
Nothing wrong with that.
15-digit promo code you got to enter in.
Very nice.
They can't make it simple, you know. They got to make it 15 digits long.
A little bit of ice repair right in front of the door for the Brandon Wheat Kings. Delaying play momentarily. 15:43 in the third period here. 2-1 for Winnipeg. Shots 20-17 in favor of Brandon. So it hasn't been a lack of...
Yeah, I don't know if something came apart from the door, if it's just a piece of the plastic. Oh.
I thought it might have been some ice that they were trying to repair.
Oh, that's a good piece.
But a piece of the boards has fallen off, which looks like plexiglass that covers the advertisements in. Broke off the boards.
Yeah.
We don't need that.
That's quite a big chunk. Maybe, I mean, one of those things is going to come off those boards perhaps and ricochet out differently.
It's possible.
So you're going to have to see some clearings or some attempts away from that area for the Wheat Kings.
Face-off is won by Kluchuk of the Wild. But first on it are the Wheat Kings, and they do clear it out to center ice where it's on the stick of Shatsky. Quick outlet pass onto the stick of Kluchuk. Kluchuk goes to Thompson. Thompson drags and shoots. Nice kick save by Dawson Green. Now back in front. Dangerous chances. That almost squeaked in short side, but Green tight against the post keeps us a one-goal game. Brandon on the outlet pass off a stick into the glove of Joe Kraus. Back to help out Kluchuk. Kraus seconds on that and clears this back to the blue line of Brandon, where Hunt's going to get to the red line, try to throw it in, but that's off the shin pads of his teammate in Anderson, and back onto the stick. Now Keegan Morrison, long lead pass up ahead for Paddock. Paddock has some room, tries to center it. Good defensive play by Mitchell Joss to get the stick down and intercept that centering passing attempt by Brett Paddock. Now it chipped it along the boards from Nolan Ritchie. Ritchie now trying to go inside and out around Gottfried. He sticks him off the puck. Back the other way comes Joss with it, with some mates. Joss leaves it for Bettens. There's a shot from Bettens. Blockered into the corner by Green. On the rebound is Ryland Thiessen. Thiessen now up for McCallum. McCallum has some room. He takes a shot. Stopped by. Rebound chance. They score! Miles Minor stops the initial shot from Lyndon McCallum. Rebound falls in front of him. He tries to whack it away and can't quite get the puck. And right on the hard forecheck was Sawchuk, and he bangs home probably the easiest goal he's going to score of the year, and the most important goal he's going to score, tying this game up at 14-27. It's a brand new hockey game, 2-2 between the Wild and the Wheat Kings.
Sawchuk, right place, right time. Miles Minor just basically gave him the rebound. All he had to do was clear it to the far post, but nonetheless he puts it in front of his net. Brandon gets the break they need. 2-2 hockey game.
And Lyndon McCallum right back into the high slot, trying to stick around a few defensemen for the Wild. Gets the puck, slaps it onto the net, steered away by Miles Minor. Carter Sawchuk picks up his fourth goal of the playoffs. They're going to call it unassisted for the time being for Carter Sawchuk, so he picks up his fourth goal and sixth point of these playoffs for the Wheat King, and his most important goal as Bergen tries to throw this in front of the net for Falk, the most important goal for the Wheat Kings this year. Now Anderson gets it to center ice, but Belton finds the loose puck, has a little bit of room down the right wing, centers for Falk. Falk, quick shot, fans on that one, it falls into the far side boards. Now goes D-to-D, do the Wheat Kings, but intercepting that's Tristan Thompson. Thompson trying to spin off a bunch of checks. Nicely job by Thompson. Keeps it in to Kraus. Over to Mason Waite. Good block there by number 21 in Tanner Morrison for the Brandon Wheat Kings. Now Joe Kraus. Quick outlet pass looking for Thompson. That's ahead of him. Out of his net comes Green. Plays it along the far side boards around the corner. Off the shin pads, I believe, of Morrison. And an intended pass looking for Paddock. Is a little bit ahead of him onto the stick of Kraus. Again, the quick breakout for the Wild. Kluchuk's got to be careful there. He steps into Ritchie as he sort of disrupts him from getting the puck. Now Ritchie walks into the slot, takes a shot. There's Minor with the save and the rebound control as he catches this one and goes for a skate as a crowd gathers in front of the net. Linesman will try to clear that up. 12:57 to go here in the third period. 2-2. Could we expect any different than a close game between these two?
Close game. You're going to see each team try to take each other's mistakes and exploit them. That's the first time we've seen Nolan Ritchie able to get some ice along the ringette line. Good, silky, smooth move. Just able to put it right on the Miles Miner's crest. Got to aim for a corner there.
Well, Carter Sawchuk has sure got the crowd back in this one. The fans of the Wheat Kings are here in full force to cheer on their team and try to get them back in this series as they're down 2-0 in favor of the Winnipeg Wild. Rory McGord, Theo Tutkaluk with you in the Manitoba Sports Network. Paddock now with the puck, trying to feather in a touch pass up to Ritchie. That's intercepted, but it does come to the front of the net, and Anderson couldn't find the handle on it. Back the other way comes Eric Fox with some speed. Fox may have a step. He takes it to the net. He throws it on the net, and that's steered back into the corner. Bounces back in front. Here's a long lead pass right on the stick of McCallum, but can't quite handle that. Hurrying on the back check was Borger. Back the other way comes Gottfried. He whistles a shot. That's blockered away by Green. Falls into the corner boards, near side. Now we got the pace here in the final 12 miles of the third period of Game 3 in the Manitoba Major AAA Finals. Puck sent back into the Brandon Wheat Kings zone. Orr's going to spin this back around. Fox might be first on it, but he loses it. Now McCallum just chips this off the boards up ahead for Sawchuk, the second goal scorer for the Wheat Kings. Sawchuk for Halliday. A little bit behind him, but he musters the puck back up to his front of his stick. Gets it for Sawchuk. Quick shot. Stopped there by Miner and covers up. 11:43. The shots are coming at a higher volume now for Brandon. And, I mean, they've definitely found another gear here in this third, and they had to, being down by 1.
I think both teams have found another gear here. You're seeing Brandon getting the equalizer here, putting the effort, getting the air back under the balloons here for the boys black. But the Wild here are going to turn it on as well because they want to finish here in Game 3.
Drake Bergen gets ridden into the corner there by Tanner Morrison. Reese Belton was second on the loose puck, swings us around the boards, but kept in by Orr. Orr has a loose puck, get away from him, and Benedictson comes the other way with some room. Luke Benedictson tries to drag it, and he gets taken out beautifully by the captain. Jake Thompson rides him out into the boards, and slow to get up is Benedictson. Back the other way come the Wild. The crowd loved that one. And here comes Tanner Morrison with it. They're going to blow down the play here as Luke Benedictson is hurt in the corner as he took a thunderous hit from Jake Thompson as Benedictson was streaking down the ice. Thompson cuts him off and lays the body on him clean. It was probably when he went into the backboards.
When he went into the backboards, or maybe he just lost his breath because that was a thunderous hit. I mean, he had a couple of steps. He let up thinking he was going to make the pass across to Falk maybe instead of just going to the net hard, and didn't get a scoring opportunity.
It was a great play at the blue line to disrupt Jackson Orr, who was trying to hold the puck in. Benedictson had a few steps on Orr and on Thompson, but the captain was able to gain the ground back and then at the perfect time throw his body into the front of the net and knock Benedictson off the puck.
Well, you like seeing forwards rush the defenseman, taking away that space sooner than later, and not turning your skates like we've seen some people do in the pros, taking it off the shin pad, the toe cap, the places where there is some padding, and then you've got your momentum moving forward there, just like Benedictson did, and he was able to get the puck and almost had a partial breakaway. Just a great angle taken by the Wheat Kings defenseman.
Face off on the blocker side there of Miles Miner. It's won by the Wild, swung back the other way on the stick of Drake Bergen. Bergen, long lead pass intended for Fox. Fox gets the puck, tips it back to Mason Waite, and Waite just flips it to the blue line here of the Brandon Wheat Kings zone. A few bodies on the near side boards here, right at the blue line, picked up by the Wheat Kings and carried out the other way. On it is Paddock. Paddock trying to throw it to the front of the net. There's a big hit, answering back from the Wild as Zach Falk rides his man to the boards. Anderson with it. Rink wide pass. Quick shot from Ritchie. Rebound chance off the back of Miner. Where's the puck? It's bouncing in front of the referees. Two bodies behind the net now are in a heated exchange. I'm not sure if I saw the ref's hand go like this as he was signaling goal. Miles Miner didn't know where the puck was, as it was Ritchie who had a glorious opportunity on a beautiful rink-wide pass from Anderson. Throws the puck, it misses the net, it goes behind the net, and then Anderson was quick to chip it back. It hits the back of Miles Miner and goes towards, almost into the net. Miner didn't know what it was. I'm not sure if the refs knew where it was, but I don't think that we're going to get a goal here. Just tempers are going to have to be cooled by these referees, as there was a heated exchange by two members, one of each team, of course, behind the net of
It's almost like the official was calling for a closed hand or something on the puck that caused the initial whistle. But the faceoff is definitely coming outside the zone for some type of infraction that Brandon has committed. But you're absolutely right. Miles Minor had no idea where that puck was off the boards on that great opportunity by Nolan Ritchie.
Face-off is knocked into the Wheat Kings zone and cleared out to the red line by Brandon. And back in by the Wild onto the stick of Green. He's just going to be careful and cover this one up. 10:29 to go. That was a very, very close opportunity. And a great pass from Anderson, finding the trailer on the far side that no one had covered in Nolan Ritchie, a guy with 84 points throughout the regular season.
I mean, Ritchie is definitely one of those smooth skaters that finds that open white ice. And there you saw a perfect example of why he had 84 points in the regular season. This guy is smooth, and he finds a way to the net and is unable to convert that third goal for Brandon.
Face-off blocker side of Dawson Green, won there by Brandon and cleared out of their own zone, but quickly in, or the Wild like they have been all game. Eric Fox slams this one back into the attacking zone. Bettens rides his man out. In Hunt behind the net. Mitchell Joss is there to help out, but Joss gets pinched up against the boards. And now Fox, the third forward for the Wild, is in there to get the loose puck. Just drops it back into the far side corner boards where Brandon's able to clear this just to the half wall here near side. Four bodies tying for it. McCallum's one of them. There's Thiessen with the other. Held the line nicely again by Joe Krause. Throws it into an empty wing. Mitchell Joss takes a whack at it. Second whack by Bettens. Finds the front of the net, but it's sticked away by Green. Krause again walks in from the line. Gets it down into the near side corner boards. Joe Krause spins and drops it down even deeper into the Brandon Wheat Kings zone. Good cycle here for the Wild. Mitchell Joss trying to battle against the defenseman for Brandon. Gets to the point. Krause holds that. Takes a shot. That's off the leg of McCallum for Brandon and falls back onto the half wall here. There's Thiessen trying to get to the blue line once again. Matt Shatsky, a strong stick to hold that. Back on the stick of Shatsky, looking for Krause. Can't quite squeeze the pass over. Does the second effort, but intercepted there by Sawchuk. And now the Wheat Kings do get it out. Good pressure once again, holding the line for the Wild.
It looks like Brandon just loose with the puck, unable to really convert a strong pass to clear the zone. Winnipeg Wild taking it to them here, adding the extra pressure in their defensive end.
Joe Krause was throwing a puck up the wing, stopped by Keegan Morrison, and into the attacking zone for the Wheat Kings is Colin Cook. Cook just throws it back behind the net of Minor, where Collier's on that. Collier looking out in front for Cook, and closed off by two. Winnipeg Wild back the other way comes Reese Belton with a lot of speed down the left wing on his backhand. Reese Belton stops up, looks for some mates, throws it into the open side. On the trail there's Shatsky. Shatsky with the shot, that's high and wide of the net. Back on the point is Gottfried. Gottfried gets it down low for Belton in the high slot. Shot from Fisher. That goes up and over the net. Off a stick possibly of one of the Wheat Kings and over the net from a shot from Fisher. Cleared out by Cook to the blue line. But you know, the Wild are going to be quick on the puck. Get that back into the Wheat Kings zone. A little bit of back and forth again through the neutral zone. Here comes Calder Anderson with it. Anderson takes a shot. That's off the leg of Gottfried and falls onto the far side. Still attacking are the Wheat Kings though. But now out come the Wild with Borger. Borger up to Kluchuk. He taps this into the zone, but he was just a step behind the red line, icing against the Wild. Here comes a good offensive face-off opportunity for the Wheat Kings.
That one was kind of close to the red line, but nonetheless, it still was touched by the Wild defender on his side of the red line. Got an icing call here. 7:56 left in the third. Rory, would it be safe to say that whoever gets the next goal wins?
I don't know if anything's safe in this series.
Okay.
Face-off is tied up in the face-off dot. Coming out with the puck is Gottfried. Up ahead of the boards. And now Kluchuk with it. Kluchuk inside and out. Stops up. Slips off his skates, which allows Brandon to get it up for Paddock. Paddock now. Long rink-wide pass intended for Ritchie. That's a little bit ahead of him. It falls on the stick of Bergen, and Bergen goes up for Mason Waite. The captain now winding through into the attacking zone. Waite shovels a backhand pass into the front of the net and stick aside. Now it's on the front of the net. Shot there from Thompson. And Green, I believe, got a glove on it or might have missed the net. Long lead pass back for Thompson. He shoots. He scores. What a pass from the corner into the slot. And Jackson Kluchuk gives the Wild their 1-goal lead back. It's 3-2 for Winnipeg.
An amazing pass coming from the close corner there. Kluchuk able to find out that seam. Gets himself just on top of the circle. Lets off a great wrist shot, beating Dawson Green to the top shelf there. I mean, all it takes is one great pass, one great shot for this Winnipeg Wild team. And they've done it here again with 7:16 left in the third.
7:16 left in the third and left in Brandon's lives here as it's Sawchuk from the point. Great save there by Miles Minor. Once again flashing the leather. This one was a full reach out to get this one.
I need a little extra A for effort there on the left side by Miles Minor. He had to stretch out that hand just a bit more.
Had Sawchuk going from one way to the other and then shoots across the grain. So that was a full stretched out arm of Miles Minor, but he catches that one and adds some flair to it. Face off to the glove side of goaltender Miles Minor, won by the Wild and carried out now by Borger. Borger, centering pass up for Bettens. He sidesteps the check there of Anderson. Pass off the helmet of Anderson and up and out of play.
Got to give it to these Winnipeg Wild. I mean, they've did just enough here to be up 3-2. Stifling Brandon and their 26 shots on goal. I mean, they're definitely not out of this. What we got to see the Brandon Wheat Kings do is attack with more just one player. They're getting the 35, 40-foot shots away. But Miles Minor saves those, whether it's raining, snowing, heating, or slowing up there. Bottom line is they got to get some traffic in front of them.
Kyle Betten's going to lose the faceoff there to Sawchuk, and Wheat Kings are on the attack. Anderson battling for the puck, does get it down low for Sawchuk. Sawchuk out in front for Halliday, but the puck off a stick and bounces over his. Brandon does hold it into the zone. Anderson riding out Mitchell Johnston to the boards, but on the trail was Bettens and Fox are on the attack. Fox now just a step offside was Kyle Bettens. Good effort there from the Wild, but the faceoff comes back into the neutral zone. 6:34 left in the third period, left in the game, and left in the Brandon season, unless they can get the tying goal here. 3-2 for the Wild.
You're absolutely right, Roy. We're going to see some exciting hockey in the last bit of this third period. Hold on to your seats. Buckle up the belts. Here we go.
Faceoff is won by Winnipeg and picked up by Joe Krause. He takes a big hit there from Tanner Morrison, but the Wild get the puck into the Wheat Kings zone. Carrying it out now is Keegan Morrison. Long lead pass, and Joe Krause lays a big hit now. Physicality at its finest here for the Winnipeg Wild against the Brandon Wheat Kings. Both teams getting physical late in this third period. And like you mentioned, we're going to see things getting picked up quite a bit as the lives are on the line for the Wheat Kings. Benedictson picks up the loose puck, throws it on the net of Green. Green quick onto his feet and onto the stick of Keegan Morrison. Morrison now down the right wing, taking it wide on his forehand. Stops up just on the corner boards there. Drops it back to the point for Cook. Cook throws it to the net. That's off a body of Falk and goes wide. On the puck now is Mason Waite. Chips it off the glass. Held in nicely there by Morrison momentarily. Second effort for Falk. Does get the puck out. Back to retreat there is Jake Thompson. Thompson having trouble getting the puck up the boards as he's being pressured by Kluchuk. The go-ahead goal scorer here for the Wild. Kluchuk just slices this one into the attacking zone and goes off for a line change. Tristan Thompson, the only forward on the forecheck. In comes Caden Bryant to help him. Nice hit by Bryant, but out from the Wheat Kings onto the stick of Ritchie. Ritchie takes a big bump there from Bettens. And the Wild now with Waite chips it around on the stick of Bettens. Bettens taking it wide, taking it around the net of Green. Throws it in front. Great opportunity there for Caden Bryant, but that puck goes wide. Green might have got a stick on it. Now Anderson throws it onto the open side, closing in on the defenseman Bergen. Bergen trying to stick lift Calder Anderson. He's being pinched up against the boards, and Anderson comes out with the puck. Spins it around, backhand, throws it in front of the net. They're whacking at it. Loose puck, it's cleared dangerously into the benches. Coaches have to be careful about that one. Nice play behind the net there for Calder Anderson. Looks like he's taking it on his forehand around the net. Throws it back behind on his backhand. And then there's a scrum ensuing in front of the net. Loose puck. A lot of bodies.
We see that play more often than not now, Roy, where you see the momentum on the forehand and that backhand pass catching everybody off guard. Winnipeg Wild didn't know where that loose puck was. They decided to wake up their bench and throw it in high and hot.
Face-off is won by the Wild, and Gottfried goes D-to-D up to Borger. Borger trying to get it out. They do just to the red line part of me here. That's McCallum trying to get it out. Back onto the stick of Lyndon McCallum. He's got a goal here tonight. Puck is tied up here on the blue line as both teams are vying for position. Once again, in and quickly out for the Wild. This time Thiessen was looking for Sawchuk. And now Damon Hunt goes on the inside trying to split the D. Is the defenseman for the Wheat Kings. Nothing happening there as it's carried out by Benedictson. He looks to be okay after taking that big hit from Thompson. Walks around two defensemen and gets to the front of the net. But there was Dawson Green to stick the puck back into the corner. Now the Wheat Kings with 3:58 to go in this third period. It is Halliday up ahead for Sawchuk. He tips this into the attacking zone, but Kraus quickly out. And then Kluchuk on the second effort gets it into the Brandon's territory. Now Jake Thompson going to throw this up for Halliday. He sidesteps the check and Kluchuk goes rink wide over to Keegan Anderson. Keegan Anderson drops it for Cook. Cook throws it into the open wing. He had Collier racing in from the bench. Decides to get it in deep into the Wild zone. And on the forecheck go the Wheat Kings. Collier now trying to drop it back. There's Keegan Anderson. Drops it back for Colin Cook. Cook trying to shovel this into the corner. Gets it to the point. Held there nicely by Thompson. Thompson for Anderson. Takes a shot. Morrison, pardon me, takes the shot from the point. Brandon still on the attack. Tanner Morrison swinging it back behind the net. But a point held. And now out is Caden Bryant. Good effort there, but it's on the stick of the Wheat Kings and quickly out as the Wild are changing. Here comes Morrison. Throws it to the front of the net. And that's just over the stick of the streaking forward, who was driving towards Miles Minor. And the Wheat Kings at the neutral ice with Cook. Cook's been on the ice for a long time. He breaks it into the attacking zone. Ritchie is going to sidestep a check and get it deeper into the Wild's territory. Drake Burgeon's back there. And Ritchie on the forecheck. Fox goes rink wide now for Bettens. Bettens is going to try to throw it towards the net. Stopped by Green. He takes a peek behind him, but he had it the whole time. 2:30 left here in the third period. 3-2 Winnipeg.
Kyle Bettens trying to sneak one off the far boards there. Dawson Green almost falling asleep, but not quite. He's still keeping his team in here. It's do or die here right now because Brandon's got to get the tying third goal.
Face off to the glove hand of Green. This picked up by the Wheat Kings and around the net and out on the breakout go the Brandon Wheat Kings. Paddock up ahead for Ryland Thiessen just off the boards. Nicely tied up the Wild are on the forwards for Brandon. Reese Belton being worked on there by Paddock. Puck comes to the point where Fulks just throws this into the open wing. That's going to be too many men, I believe. At the worst possible time for the Wheat Kings. Might have just got a bench minor for too many men.
Some confusion. There was a defenseman coming off, and then they didn't know if they were putting another D or another forward. Nonetheless, they got caught.
And it's unfortunate for the Wheat Kings with 2 minutes left in the game, but they had 6 men on the ice. The guy jumping off the boards
and
touches the loose puck.
And you're right, it's one of those 50-50 calls because the forward hadn't made an offensive move with the puck, the player without the puck, but nonetheless there was some definite 6 players out there.
They're going to go on the penalty kill for Murray Chrysler in Morden. Wild's second power play opportunity. They are 1 for 1 so far in the game. And on the puck is Kyle Bettens. Bettens sticked off by Jake Thompson and thrown all the way down the ice. They're going to have to turn up the forecheck on this penalty kill as they're going to be on the kill for the duration of this game, minus 3 seconds at the end of it. On the defensive attack was Sawchuk trying to get the loose puck away. And now Mason Waite's going to carry this for the Wild. Throw a sauce into the slot, which is picked off by the Wheat Kings, and Sawchuk gets it out to the red line, waiting for it with Shatsky. Shatsky's going to play it to the open side. A little bit of miscommunication between two of the Wilds, but Mason Waite bounces this one in. The Brandon Wheat Kings zone, blown down by the referee.
But a high stick by one of the defensemen there by the Brandon Wheat Kings. Face-off will ensue to the left of Dawson Green. I mean, you're going to see this power play end just as time expires, so we're going to have to see a shorthanded goal here by the Brandon Wheat Kings to see their season continue on after tonight.
Ritchie wins the faceoff for the Wheat Kings, back behind the net of Green, shoveled along the boards, but Godfrey's the first one on that, and he tips it ahead for Bryant. Bryant plays it back for Burgeon. Burgeon takes a nice hit along the boards from Hunt, which loosens up the puck, and it's thrown along the boards for Nolan Ritchie here. Ritchie is going to take it wide on his backhand, take it around the net. Nolan Ritchie still with the puck, drops it back for Calder Anderson. He gets to the point, 1 minute left, shot from the point, Almost deflected in by Damon Hunt, but again swung back along deeper into the zone by Ritchie. Last effort here for the Wheat Kings as it's lifted high and out of the zone. And net is empty for Brandon. Fired at the net from Bryant. That misses. Carob's off the boards. Mitchell Jost taps it home. And it's 4-2 for Winnipeg. And with 40 seconds remaining, they just may have booked their ticket to the TELUS Cup West Regional Finals in Thunder Bay.
Mitchell Jost, right place, right time with 40 seconds left. Just an unfortunate set of events for the Wheat Kings. I mean, they had them pinned in the offensive zone against Miles Minor. Just a loose puck along the close boards here. Flipped high into the air. And Brandon wasn't able to control in the neutral zone. Shot ensues, hitting the backboards, and Mitchell Jost had a quick tap for fourth goal.
Face-offs won by Brandon and placed on the blue line of the attacking zone, but quickly out from the Wild. Inside, outside, Fox just trying to kill off the remaining second. Falk picks up the lone assist on the goal from Jost, the fourth goal of the game for the Wild. And the sealer here tonight as it's sent back in to the Brandon Wheat Kings zone. 10 seconds remaining here. Wild crowd are on their feet. Paddock now to the front of the net. Cleared away. Second opportunity and one last save for Miles Minor, and that's going to do it. The Winnipeg Wild, for the second straight year and the fifth time in the last 7 years, are the Manitoba Midget AAA champions. And they are on their way to the TELUS Cup West Regionals in Thunder Bay for the second straight year.
Congratulations go to the Winnipeg Wild. Absolutely a well-fought game by both squads. And a great job by the Brandon Wheat Kings here. Great effort. Unbelievable intensity throughout the entire 60 minutes. Just unfortunate set of events in the last 2 minutes of the third. Clearly you can't rest it along those last 2 minutes of the third period. Nonetheless, congratulations to both teams on a well-fought Game 3 of this championship series. Brandon played one heck of a game. Dawson Green did well in the pipes. Shots were great from every angle. Definitely kept the Winnipeg Wild on their toes for most of this game. But we've seen it time and time again. As well as 2 power play goals tonight by the Wild to make it a 4-2 hockey game. A great job by the Wild, too.
4-2, the final for the Winnipeg Wild to win the city championships here in the Manitoba Midget AAA League. We'll be right back with the players of the game. And, of course, the trophy presentation here at the Bell MTS Iceplex. Rory McGore and Theo Tutchglark will be right back after a quick break here on the Manitoba Sports Network. Welcome back here inside Bell MTS Iceplex for what was a fantastic series and a fantastic Game 3 between the Wild and the Brandon Wheat Kings. Wild win this one 4-2 for the series sweep Scoring summary quickly. First period, McCallum opens it up for Brandon, assisted by Halliday and Twertaclib. That would be it for the first period. Brandon would go into the dressing room leading 1-0, but it was all Wild in the second as Zach Falk, assisted by Mason Waite and Reese Belton, would tie the game up at 1. Then Tristan Thompson would make it 2-1, assisted by Joss and Falk. 2-2. Sawchuk would tie up the game unassisted in the third period. And then the Wild with the 3-2 goal by Jackson Kluchuk, assisted by Bryant and Thompson. And 4-2, the nail in the coffin. Mitchell Joss, the empty net goal, assisted by Zach Falk. Oh, we knew it would be these two teams coming to the finals. We knew it would be one heck of a game, and we were not disappointed.
You know what? If you had to take 60 minutes of hockey and throw it into a hat and have a whole bunch of other games figured out, and you had to pull this game out of the hat, it was a pretty damn good game to watch. And I think it was best foot forward by both teams, showing off their advantages as a team and how well they play. And what it all comes down to is both of these teams and how well they played in the regular season made it to the finals. And they put their best foot forward here tonight in Game 3. Brandon knew their backs were against the walls. Winnipeg played a game that allowed them to take advantage and opportunities of the mistakes that Brandon made. We saw their power play, albeit one of their goals being an empty netter, score 2 of the 4 goals. And we saw a gentleman that led the league in goals finally wake up in the last game and take some of the pressure off of Kyle Bettens and put together a 3-point night.
Winnipeg Wild 41-5-2 in the regular season for 84 points, the most ever in a regular season here in the Manitoba Midget AAA Hockey League, and then 9-1 throughout the playoffs. This team's going to the TELUS Cup West Regionals with a very good shot at advancing to the TELUS Cup Finals in Sudbury, Ontario.
When you consider the 4 teams that will be in TELUS Cup Regional, let's quickly touch on this. It's Thunder Bay, Kenora, the Winnipeg Wild, and a representative from Saskatchewan. Now, the only competition I see being there is the team from Saskatchewan for the Wild because, albeit, I mean, if the Thistles or the Kings put up any type of effort, the Wild are just going to outdo them offensively.
It's tough to stop this Winnipeg Wild team. Most goals all throughout the regular season, 325 goals for, 107 goals against, both first place. I guess the only knock you could say on them is their special teams, which is just their power play. But they don't seem to need it, as the amount of goals that they pour in on the opposition net is going to be tough to stop for any team in those West Regional Finals.
And you're right, Roy. It's an offensive juggernaut. Because if you don't have Bettens, you got Falk, you got Fox, Benedictson. The list goes on and on and on. They have the most number of players, Rory, that score or may have points at a +1 per game than any other team in Winnipeg and midget AAA hockey. And we saw Dexter Kluchuk score the game winner there. I mean, he's one of their guys. He's one of their utility guys. But he finds the right place, the right seam, and puts the puck behind Dawson Green for that third goal. And Mitchell Joss scores the empty header for the added extra. What can't you say other than the Winnipeg Wild are going to go to Thunder Bay being the favorite out of those 4 teams?
Yeah, they're an offensive juggernaut with a guy named Miles Minor between the pipes, who him and Caden Kilpatrick, the 2A, you would call them. There's 1A and 2A. Are both goalies of the year, both representatives from the Winnipeg Wild. So that offense, combined with that goaltending and the defense, is you're right. They may be the favorites going in, depending on who the representative from Saskatchewan is. Those 6 goals that were scored today, brought to you by Get Empowered, our official communications provider for cell phones, iPads, and more. Contact your authorized TELUS dealer today, or go to getempowered.ca.
I mean, if you had to find one we've talked about the power plays being the disadvantage to this Wild organization. Tonight's game was a little bit scary, and here's why I say a little bit scary. Because they control their own destiny. Remember back in the day you said the choose your own adventure books? or you're able to, pick and play how you want to do that. The Winnipeg Wild play that type of game because they allow the team to come to them, their opponents, and they wait for them to make a mistake. They wait for that opportunity. And when they have that opportunity, it's such a quick strike offense, moving 3-4 guys into the offensive zone. And that is where they hurt their opponent the most. And it's such a beautiful thing to see if the plan works right. But we saw very quickly in the first period, in the first 4 minutes, where Brandon may have found that seam that was able to give a little bit of trouble to the Wild team. But after 60 minutes, through it all, you saw Winnipeg able to take advantage of the opponent's mistakes and miscues, especially the too-many-minute call with 2:03 left in the third.
Back-to-back years now for the Winnipeg Wild, in the 5th year in the last 7 that they're going to advance these TELUS Cup West Regionals and win the Manitoba Midget AAA Championship. Switch over to Brandon Wheat Kings here. I mean, if you look at their roster, they're going to be well intact for next year as Nolan Ritchie, Calder Anderson, Damon Hunt, Cole Jordan, Mitch Thiessen, all these guys who we've seen throughout the year. I mean, Nolan Ritchie, 84 points. Calder Anderson, 45 points in 38 games. Damon Hunt, the defenseman, 40 points in 40 games. All rookies. They're 15 years old. They're going to be back on the same team next year as a 16-year-old, barring if they go up into a higher league, the WHL, and so forth.
You mentioned those 3 players. I couldn't pick 3 players that I would want to put my team around and start building again. I mean, you talk about a nucleus of players that get such great attention and build chemistry, and now they will be looked upon as being the veterans for next season. So congratulations to Brad on a job well done and a great season. But they are future stars and bright lights ahead of them, especially to the start of the fall in 2018.
Yeah, Brandon going undefeated throughout the playoffs, sweeping Southwest and the Winnipeg Bruins. Southwest in round 1, the Bruins in round 2, didn't lose a game. They come into this one, they get swept by the Winnipeg Wild in 3 games. But again, I mean, we talked a little about the Wild, but that's just a testament to how powerful this Winnipeg Wild team. And I am so looking forward to seeing what they can do in the West Regionals. And like you said, they very well might be the favorites. A quick 3 stars for yourself, sir, tonight. Who do you got to go with?
Well, my 3rd star has to go to Dawson Green. I mean, 27 shots faced. He made some amazing saves. He kept his team in it, but also gave them the opportunity to win it as well. And, I mean, the reason why I pick him as number 3 is because you expect the Wild, who score between 6 and 7 goals a game, and he just really kept that offense stilled for a large portion of this game and just unfortunately came apart here in the 3rd. So he would be my 3rd star. 2nd star, I'd have to go, you could go with Dexter Kluchik with the game-winning goal. He had his speed. He was able to move up and down the ice.
I think with that crucial of a game-winning goal at that time, you have to have Kluchuk in your top 2. Zach Falk had 3 points. Mitchell Joss picked up 2 points. I'm good with your green, but I think you got to give the game-winning goal, and that's what's the important one was. Kluchuk, Jackson Kluchuk, the number 1 star, and we'll slot Zach Falk with a 3-point effort, a goal and 2 assists as the 2nd star.
You're absolutely right. Zach Falk was going to be my 1, my 2, and he's your 2, my 1. The reason why I put him at 1 is because he realized that Kyle Bettens wasn't having the greatest of games. Bryant was, trying to do his best. Bolton doing his best. Just they weren't moving on all cylinders. And when you have an offense that is so strong in so many different ways, Zach Falk steps up to the table where he needed most, scores his first goal, gets a couple of helpers, takes that pressure off his other players and says, you know what, boys, I got this. You've carried me through round 1 and round 2. Now it's my turn. And he did a great job, and he's looking forward to getting into the TELUS Regionals next weekend.
So the Winnipeg Wild, who are 7 times champions, 5 times in the last 7 years, craziness, have never won the Western Regionals at the TELUS Cup. I got to say that what I've seen throughout the year from this team, that very well might change this year.
I haven't found an Achilles heel. And when you look at how strong this team is from top to bottom, how well this team takes care of each other and the chemistry they have built throughout this season, now through the playoffs, and now on to the next step. They're having fun. They're having a blast. And I think they're ready to make that next step and, break through that wall, pop that cherry, if you will, and get through the regionals next weekend in Thunder Bay.
4-2 is the final here as the Winnipeg Wild skate up to accept their first place trophies. Kyle Bettens now receiving the leading point scorer and the MVP of the regular season, number 22. You're right. He didn't find his name on the score sheet today, which is crazy to think of a guy who had 95 points, I believe, through the regular season.
He won the scoring title. That's all we have to really worry about.
95 points in 48 games played, 40 goals, 55 assists. 55 assists. Didn't find his name on the score sheet. But that's just the amazing thing about this team. You shut down a guy, the commitment to Bemidji State, and Kyle Bettens, and then you have Zach Falk pick up the slack. You have Jackson Kluchuk pick up the slack. Obviously from the back end, Mason Waite is out there battling. I mean, Luke Benedictson takes a huge hit and then comes back and sets up one of the goals, I believe. And there's just no end to the amount of talent on this Winnipeg Wild team.
And Mason Waite, the captain, leads by example. We also have to mention, we talked about at the end of the first period when we had that double minor by Krause, and also how well Shatsky was able to move the puck from his defensive zone into the neutral zone and then get it deep. Those three players, as well as the stalwart job by the gentle giant out there, Gottfried. I mean, he was able to move the puck up as well, had a couple of shots, rang one off the crossbar. I mean, it comes from everywhere with this Wild team, and congratulations, and they are rightfully the Manitoba representative to head to the TELUS Cup next weekend.
All the four captains now accepting their banners, and we know what's to follow that is the trophy that the Winnipeg Wild get to bring home for the second straight year. The four captains are up there. Families taking pictures. I mean, a fantastic effort for the Brandon Wheat Kings, who were 2 points behind the Wild for the season lead. 82 points compared to 84. I mean, we said 84 was the record for most points ever in a regular season. Wheat Kings were 1 win behind it. They have an incredible team, and they have a core of young rookies that are going to carry this team, like we said, unless they're in a higher league in the dub, that are going to carry this team to bigger and better places next year. And, I mean, they gave the Wild a run for the money. I know it was a sweep, but it was 1-goal games all the way through. This one an empty netter, making it 4-2, which, I mean, it's a 1-goal game other than the empty netter.
And it was great to watch Brandon play because their style of hockey, definitely shows why they were such a difficult team for the Wild in the regular season. I mean, the Brandon Wheat Kings organization should be very proud with the organized chemistry and their tactical skill and strategy as we see the Wild hoist the trophy here. The Wheat Kings have a fantastic passing strength from their defense to the forwards. They understand how to get pucks to the net. They get great scoring opportunities. But the most unbelievable thing, or most well-noted thing about the Brandon Wheat Kings in tonight's game was how cool and poised they were controlling this juggernaut offense of the Winnipeg Wild. And it was done with such great poise, strength, and a great team strategy led by the Wheat Kings coaching staff tonight. It just unfortunately didn't have enough to put them above the Wild and force a Game 4. And it was great to see, like I said, a wonderful hockey game to watch Monday night, beginning of spring break for some of these guys as well. They're looking forward to a rest of a time away from school perhaps, or maybe some fun with friends and family celebrating here for the Wild. But a great job by both teams, Roy.
Well, there's not much rest for the champions as those West Regionals are not this weekend, but the weekend after, the 5th to the 8th in Thunder Bay. So like you said, they're going to celebrate this. They're going to, with friends and family, they're going to enjoy this win, but they're right back to work. I mean, the Wild cannot, we'd say take the foot off the gas, put the foot on the gas during the game, but even in this next little week and a half time that they have before they head over to Thunder Bay, they have a legitimate chance of winning this West Regionals. So the coaches have to understand this. They want to celebrate, but they got to get them right back on track and prepared for Thunder Bay. They're going to be up against a stiff test against the team out of Saskatchewan, and then again, never count out the home team, which is the Thunder Bay, and then never count out Kenora, who's coming out of the Ontario West or East Ontario.
Right, and I think for the coaching staff, and I think for these players as well who have now been here 2 years in a row, they know how well it tastes to win this championship. They know the bitter taste of how it feels to feel defeat in the regionals. I don't think they want this season to end the same as it did last year, Rory. So I think for them, they understand the improvements they have to make off the ice here in the next 10 days, but also the planning and the strategy and getting the bodies prepared. I mean, there's several scratches that the Wild team have tonight that they would love to see back into the lineup come April 5th. I mean, we see Ceramic not there. We see a couple other names.
Michael Sarter and Luke Ceramic, I believe, both hurt because, I mean, Luke Ceramic 49 points in 46 games. Michael Sarter 63 points in 47 games. These aren't people in your lineup that are healthy scratches. They have injuries and they weren't able to participate in this game. But you're right. You get those guys back infused into your lineup potentially for these Telus Cup West Regionals.
And that just adds more offense, more goodness to the greatness, if you will, and a team that should be firing on all cylinders if they're able to get them all back.
Well, that is going to do it here for us tonight. Congratulations. Do you think they ever get sick of these pictures?
I never got sick of these pictures. I mean, I like the way gold tastes between my teeth, and congratulations to these boys. They're not going to forget this very soon. I mean, you see those championships, how it feels and how it looks, and just the smiles and the celebrations, the popping of the apple cider vinegars or the apple ciders in the locker room, the fake champagne, the bubblies. You never forget those moments, Rory. And, I mean, no matter how old you get and the stories you get to tell your friends and how great it is to be a part of a team with such amazing success and some wonderful moments and more memories to make next weekend.
Well, the Winnipeg Wild are able to defeat the Central Plains Capitals in round 1, 3-1, and then never looked back and never lost a game after that as they take out the Winnipeg Thrashers in the second round. And then, of course, what we all figured would be the final, the Winnipeg Wild and the Brandon Wheat Kings. They eliminate the Wheat Kings and win the Manitoba Midget AAA Championship in 3 games and move on to the Telus Cup West Regionals. So congratulations to the Winnipeg Wild on an amazing year and an amazing playoffs and an absolute fantastic championship victory here tonight. That's going to do it for us. 4-2 for Winnipeg, for Rory McGoran, for Theo Tutgluck. And, of course, thank you to all of you listening whenever you do, wherever you are on the Manitoba Sports Network, to Manitoba AAA hockey action. The final, Winnipeg 4, Brandon 2 on the Manitoba Sports Network.